supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now. But I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. I think I'm jerking myself. I'm sucking. I am an asshole. I am so stupid. I gotta get one. Doomer Weeaboo on YouTube for my music.
Welcome to the Pro Crastinators podcast.
Woo!
Whoa, wow.
Oh my God.
The only podcast on the internet. This week, it's me, it's Ben Saint. It's Give and Take.
Hey, oh.
It's Tom Oliver.
Yeah.
And there's I was gonna say Digi, but I guess it's not. What's up?
There's no such thing as a Digi anymore. This
Okay.
Digi character has been put to rest. I'm
It's
just gonna
done.
I'm this podcast I will be known as Trixie.
Okay.
21st
like-
century Trixial girl.
That was one of my favorite ponies. Good to see.
One of
I
my
guess it
favorite
kinda-
ponies too.
I guess it kind of sounds like Digi. It's got the same vowel arrangement. It's okay.
Trixie.
That was also
Yes.
part of why I figured that would work for this show. I was
Okay.
like, I'm not going to convince you all
Okay.
to stop using the double I sound when referring to me, but
I'll
Digi
make it.
Trixie, it's not that hard.
That'll make.
Plus, it's a
That'll
character
make-
you all know already, so you can just visualize Trixie in your mind. Very
Is it-
easy, very easy.
It's easier to remember than Gray. Or I think, were you going by Gray for a little bit?
I was Gray for a bit, but that was always kind of meant to be a placeholder name. It was like until I figure out what name I want. And then for a multitude of reasons, I landed on Beatrice. One of them being that one of its shortened versions is Trixie. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is not an internet handle. This is a real name changer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Trixie
Right.
is one of my now IRL nicknames also, which is nice because a lot of this was spurred because like the other day I was doing content and Victor kept calling me Digi, and I was like, "You're not allowed to call me Digi," and he was like,
Wait
"Well,
a minute.
yeah."
Why does? Oh, right.
Victor's
Okay.
never called me Digi, not even on the internet. Like
I was
he-
gonna
he
say, wait a minute.
routinely
Victor always
forgets.
called you Conrad at RadCon.
Right, exactly. He never
So-
called me Digi before.
Okay, I get it.
So in my mind, I was like, "Well, you have to call me by my real name."
So
That's
he
how
wasn't
this works.
calling you. So he wasn't calling you Gray. So I guess he just didn't know what to call you. I guess.
I mean, I haven't been
defaulted
using the
to
name
Digi
Gray
Wall.
for a while. In
Okay.
my personal life, I for
Yeah.
most people around, I told them Beatrice is my name now. Call me B, Trixie. These are the ones that make sense. You know, my friends have been calling me B or Goldie, as short for Golden Witch, because I'm also still using the Golden Witch name. But
That's how you change your Twitter handle.
yeah, but just Victor calling me Digi, I was like, well, you have to use my real name, goddammit. And he was like, well, Digi's been around longer. And I was like, well, that's
Yeah.
a problem. Like, if you're still thinking about, if you still think of that name because it's been around longer and not just because it's a brand, like, then I have to get rid of it. Because it can't be, I'm not Digi. Digi is a brand name, you know? So, I've killed the brand.
This is so fucked. This is so fucked. Munchie. I think at some point Munchie expected me to start calling him Anthony, and I can't do it. I don't like real names.
They're terrible.
I like brands.
Well, you can pretend
Oh,
that
brands,
Trixie
please.
is a brand name. It's just a My Little Pony character. We're on a My Little Pony podcast.
I think we're
What,
moving towards
Munch?
a glorious future where brand names and real names collide, and you can change your real name as easy as you can change a brand name.
I always like calling people by their like internet handle names because
mean-
that's the name someone chose for themselves.
I mean, if you-
And I think
if you
that-
wanna
I
go-
always thought that was cool.
If you want to go with Goldie, that's the most internet version of a name that
I'm fine. I'm
know-
fine with Trixie. I'm fine with
Okay.
Trixie. I'm just saying that I cannot separate branding from reality.
Fair enough.
They are one and the same
I-
to me.
I like that you can like collect a bunch of names. I have so many names. I also associate my characters as like names I could have if I wanted to.
It's like a
the
demon.
avatars I use.
It's like a demon. You have all kinds of different names, but you have your true name that can banish you, but you don't tell anyone that one because then they can bind you to their will.
Or like you know, any fantasy character like Khaleesi when she gets up to like 12 names by the end of Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Trixie, the Golden Witch.
I just want to have that. I want that list of titles. I want people to
first of the.
Yeah, I want people to be giving them to me though. I don't want to just be making up my own.
Stormborn, first of the
100,000 subscribers.
Days.
Wait, you're way past 100K, aren't you?
It's like every time
new name official.
She gets a new name every time she goes from premiere to
the name will be official when you hit 1 million and it's on the plaque. That's how you know you're actually it's
That's when you know you're really.
You get a new one for every platform.
The way I'm planning on selling this name change is by privatizing all of the content on the Digi and Digi Collective channels. Bam! Dabs! I'm gonna release.
Privatize.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video
like
called "You Have
paywall?
3 weeks." I have a video called "You Have 3 weeks to archive all of my content," and then it's just gonna be gone.
Whoa!
Oh man,
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's some crazy shit.
Good thing. There's a list of all that.
There
that
is.
you
Well,
make.
I already
But
know
there
there's some
won't be.
people who have like. I already know for a fact that it's all archived up to at least last year from last time my channel got taken down. So there will be people who have saved it all, probably will re-upload it. I just don't want to be the one hosting it, basically. But I'm going to go back and like recreate a bunch of the good stuff, you know.
Wait.
The
What do you
HD
mean
remaster.
recreated?
The HD remaster is coming.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
like
What do you mean by that?
Project Awesomeness, right?
No,
do that
not
again?
Like that. More like if there's videos
like
that were...
Modal Soul Productions, like action adventure RPG. You're gonna like remaster.
Dude, you have to
remaster those.
You have to remaster Measurement Man. It's the best
Digi,
video you
how
ever
come
made.
you don't make action adventure RPG anymore? This is what I followed for, and it's been like 12 years. Unsubscribing.
Unironically, I feel that way about myself.
There
There is a person inside me who feels exactly that way. How dare you fucking abandon adventure action RPG? All I ever wanted to do in life is play action RPGs. So, like, shifting gears away from that was definitely a huge mistake. I did not want to spend all of my life,
Agreed.
you know, analyzing anime. So,
Agreed. Sad. Lol. I said Digi. You know what I mean.
yeah. I didn't even
Yeah.
notice.
I did. Me either. I was like, wait a
It's a
minute.
learning
Names are always
process
a bit
for all
weird.
of us.
Yeah.
To get used to.
Yeah, it's a gay world.
Yeah.
That is true.
Tom, you were like musing on Twitter about changing your name from Tom Oliver.
That's right.
I've been
That's so
thinking about that
fucked.
for a good while now.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but
It's so fucked up.
I don't know
This
what
is
I would even
abuse.
change it
Do
to.
it. Do
This
it.
is- how-
Do it.
This is abuse.
Do it. Let's
This is
all
abuse
do it
that
at
you're all-
once. Let's
you're
all do it
doing
at once.
This to me.
We all
This
just
is abuse
become
that you're all
different
doing this
people.
to me.
Well, okay.
I don't know.
We got
Ben, you're
Trixie.
just jealous because you picked the perfect name from the start and have nowhere to
true.
go. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
you will never
I
top
am-
Ben Saint. It's fucking incredible. It's
I am jealous of my own perfection. It's true. Thank you. Oh, this was so nice. Well, shit. Now I've been you flattered my name, so now I can't complain anymore.
It rolls
it.
off the tongue really well.
It's good.
You
know.
I don't know.
Maybe
I'm a little-
Tom should use the name Ben Saint. I think that'd be a pretty good one.
I'm a little jealous of like I was watching I was watching a video by The Right Opinion. It was about the Nikocado Avocado guy who I'd never heard of, but I was watching this video just to have something to listen to, explaining like his drama or whatever. And like the story of his drama within the mukbang community is like it's like he keeps referring, it's like every time he makes a video explaining the latest tea or whatever, his story is like, oh, I have to publicly call out what and like everyone has the stupidest names. Like everyone's called I don't know, I don't know, a fit raccoon Buster, 12, 18, or whatever.
I'm writing that one down. That's a new candidate.
Referring to each other with deadly seriousness, like real people, but with these outlandish screen names. And I'm like, my screen name is just is a regular human name. And it's like, it's a little unfortunate that I'm not like, I don't know.
I have a good excuse for you, Ben, because
yeah,
Patreon.com/Ben Saint was a classic meme that's for the ages. It rolls off the tongue, but Subscribestar.com/Ben Saint doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. So if you ever need to open a Subscribestar, you can come up with a new name just for the purpose of a second meme.
I don't know what I'd need to open a Subscribestar for. I mean, it's just Patreon again, right?
Pretty much. But like,
yeah.
I have some people who are like, I refuse to use Patreon.
Right.
Make a Subscribestar, and I'm like, okay, but I hate Subscribestar. It's really bad when you use it as a secondary thing and you're small, because it's like, hey, because I only have like 3 people who are just like, I refuse to use Patreon. So I'm like, okay, I made a Subscribestar, and then Subscribestar's like, hey, we won't let you take any of the money until you have at least 5 people. And so I just had
what?
Yeah, I had like $400 just sitting there for like
that
half
is
the year.
The number of
fucked,
people.
actually.
That's
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
really
stupid.
weird.
You need at least 5 subs before they'll take your they'll let you take the money out.
What the hell?
But they'll take
Someone's
the money
pledging you,
from
like,
those
$100.
less than 5 people.
It's really dumb. So yeah, for like a year, I just couldn't take the money out until one of the people on Subscribestar was like, "I'm just gonna make 2 more accounts, give you $1, let you withdraw it,
I was
and then I'll
gonna
move
say,
back
like,
over to Patreon." I'm just
at
like, okay.
some point, I would have just been like, just go to your Discord and just be like, "Hey, could somebody please?"
I didn't realize for a while because
account?
like not only does it do that, it won't automatically charge the people on there if you have under 5. So every month I'd be like, "Hey, people on Subscribestar, just a reminder, it's that time of the month." Because it won't auto do it. It says it's to prevent fraud. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
That's so weird.
Yeah. So unless like you en masse tell people to go
just
there,
laundering my money through Subscribestar.
right? Subscribestar sucks if you're tiny, but
that's unfortunate. But OnlyFans.com/Ben Saint still sounds good.
Ooh,
so
that's
you're
the power
okay.
move right there.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. That's the inevitable end goal, and we all know it.
Wait, have I talked about OnlyFans on here at all and how it's like the best?
I don't think so.
No.
Because
so,
what's great about OnlyFans is you can just upload video to OnlyFans, like of any size, and they don't have content ID. So like the negative side is they take 20% instead of 10%. But like,
okay.
Other than
that's rough.
They host your content, and the way that the feed is on OnlyFans is just a Tumblr feed. Like it looks exactly like Tumblr, and it's like you can post images or videos or text. Like you have those like 6 options like Tumblr had. So it's just fascinating that like it's a good social media site in a way that Patreon completely failed at trying to be, and also a great payment processing site because it has no content ID, no content restrictions at all. It's mostly for pornography, and you can upload video to it.
They must be because they take such a large cut. Because I didn't like using OnlyFans for that one time. I was making like punk alludes, and that was funny. But like they take quite a lot, and for doing drawings, I'm like, I'd rather not spend so much time for such a cut of my pay.
I probably wouldn't think it was worth it if not for the video uploading ability, but
if that was my goal, then that would be quite a much better deal.
It sounds like if you can upload the stuff elsewhere, then it's probably better to do that. But if like for whatever reason you can't like just host it on YouTube or whatever, then Subscribestar is a good alternative.
OnlyFans is still a better deal than a YouTube subscription.
It's also just like a great way to release bonus content, because like on Patreon you still have to upload your bonus videos to some other site, and then like have like an unlisted
that's
YouTube
true.
video or something. Like on
That's true.
on
That is
OnlyFans, you
true. That's
literally
annoying.
just upload bonus content. Only the OnlyFans subscribers can ever see it.
I think
Unless it gets,
the goal for
leaked.
2021 should be to reclaim OnlyFans, take it away from the ethos,
That's
and make it for everyone.
I completely agree, and that's what they want. Like, there's nothing on the OnlyFans website that in any way implicates it's meant for ethos or sex work. Like, it's just a payment site, just like Patreon. It just happened to originally be run with ethos.
The savior we wanted this whole time has been right there.
And I will say, it does have the one thing that that it has that's like it kind of facilitates parasociality, because it has like a built-in odd DM system where like but people can also just give you like straight tips and donations, like one-time tips, and they will. Like, people who have already subscribed to you will just tip you money on individual posts. It's pretty cool. It's a great infrastructure. I'm just saying.
Well, that's pretty
Fascinating.
fascinating. I had no idea. No idea it was
Yeah.
that well built.
I don't know what I would put on it because I don't make
Also,
video,
also,
but
Tom from
yeah.
MySpace told me to use it 3 years ago, and I didn't understand what he was trying to tell me to do.
Damn.
Yeah, Tom.
Like
legend.
personally, he
Yes,
told you
Tom
to?
Anderson. Remember when I talked about being DM'd by Tom from MySpace? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was telling me that OnlyFans was like the most interesting alternative to Patreon, but he was like, "Oh, it's mostly for like nudes or eat like." And I thought he was telling me that he was using it mostly for nudes, so I was very confused why he was telling me
Wait,
this.
what? Why was Tom from Facebook DMing you?
Because of my videos about Patreon being not great. I had like made some videos about how I thought, like, he was like, "Oh, if you looked into the alternatives though," and I don't know if he has some kind of stake in OnlyFans or if he was just investigating it at the time, but that was his suggestion to me.
That's what he's been working on this whole time since the fall of MySpace. He's like, if I can just capture that ethot audience, I can
that
rise
and his
back to
big ass
greatness.
Instagram.
Right? God.
But
How
yeah,
old is he now? He must be old now.
he's in his 40s, I think.
Oh, yeah. Too old.
Yeah.
Too old. Get
Come back
outta
to me
here.
again when he's 60 and he's a cool old guy. Right now he's just in that
Yeah.
middle space where like, I don't care.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, that's good. I was having a productive week, but then I started a world-ending Noida run, the ultimate Noida run. I am a god. I am a god gamer of Noida.
Noida stands for.
It's Finnish for witch. You play as a hooded weirdo, and you do alchemy, and you create wands. I have the best wand now. I do. When you're just playing the game, when you're an idiot, when you're a rube like I used to be. The game is like a progression from level to level, trying to beat the final boss. When you ascend to the next level, when you become a god gamer, Noida becomes a resource management exploration game, wherein you are collecting a lot of like spells and keeping them,
what do you
creating
know?
a layer somewhere.
I open Steam and it just shoves Noida directly in my face. So there
Holy
you go.
fucking!
Didn't
Is this
even
like a
have to
new
search.
game or it was just a
Based.
strange coincidence?
It's just on
I
sale,
have-
I think, right now. Yeah, it's
I
25%
have no. Well,
off.
people should buy it. I have not gone to the moon yet, but I went to hell yesterday. I finally got to hell. That was pretty difficult, but I managed it. Had to use lava to blood to turn this lava sea underneath the final boss into blood and dig down for a while to get to the
It
boss.
looks kind of like Terraria with better graphics and really cool particle effects.
I went to a parallel world. That was really hard. I had to use sand. I had to use ground to sand to change the rock walls on the side of the world to sand, and then I had to dig through them and create pockets of ambrosia and use a teleport bolt to teleport from puddle to puddle of ambrosia so that the cursed rock in between worlds wouldn't kill me. But I did it. I've killed some more bosses. I've killed a bunch of bosses I'd never even seen before. I don't know. I just want to gush about Noida, but I know most people haven't
really
played it.
like the aesthetic of its title, its text.
Yeah, the
It's-
pixel
it's-
art with the dithering. It's good. Good shit.
I have talked about Noida before, so I won't go on at length, but I will say that the dithering is that way because the game is based on like particle sand, like falling sand game style, like particle physics.
Oh, I remember seeing
that's-
previews for this game now that I'm looking at it.
And the aesthetics of it and like the monster design and the names of everything are based on Finnish mythology, and it sort of has like an alchemy theme to it. Which is I have this is funny. This is fun. Because I needed ambrosia to cross between worlds, right? Because the parallel worlds are separated by a huge rock wall, the center of which is cursed rock. And to get through it, I was using a spell called Ground to Sand and firing a projectile, and the projectile's path would turn the ground to sand, and then I had to dig through the sand, but the cursed rock would hurt me, so I had to dig holes and put ambrosia in it. So I had to get lots of ambrosia in order to like put pure ambrosia in these holes. So I went to the fungal caverns and I had to dig a hole, and I had to like I didn't have any ambrosia, so I had to go and like find puddles of spilled ambrosia from potions that I had broken throughout the rest of the game, go down there with my own bottle, scoop up as much as I could, go back to this hole that I dug, throw in as much ambrosia as I could, but along with all this other crap, and I had to like find materials that were denser than ambrosia, or no, lighter than ambrosia, to like throw in with it so that the ambrosia would sink to the bottom and the lighter fluids would float to the top, and then the lighter fluids would like leak off the top, so I would be left with pure ambrosia that I could then scoop up into a bottle and take to the wall between worlds and like put in these like holes for me to traverse between them. And it was so cool and satisfying. I was like, I figured out how to do that all by myself. I feel like a real alchemist doing chemistry.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Wow.
10 out of 10.
I can't
Thank
visualize it, so
Says team.
I'm not
No.
impressed. In fact, you suck.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize for doing all that. Well, everyone just needs to play Noida so they can understand what I'm so excited about here. If you play Noida for like 100 hours like I have, and then you're like, okay, I will undertake the task of traversing to a parallel world, then you will come back and listen to this podcast and you will appreciate, wow, the process Ben is describing sure is tedious, but I can see how it would work, and I wonder if I could do it myself. And then you'll try it and you'll die. You'll die like I almost did, because you'll fuck up going from puddle of ambrosia to puddle of ambrosia, and the curse will activate, and you'll start to bleed slime because you took the slime to blood perk, and then all your slime will like explode out of you, and it'll get all in your ambrosia puddles, and then you can't touch the ambrosia, and then you gotta use your teleport bolt. Oh god, gotta get back to the world before I die.
The game does sound pretty cool and is on
So
sale
cool.
for $15, but for only $9
Everyone should
I
buy
could
it.
get the Bayonetta and Vanquish combo.
I don't even know what Vanquish is.
Bayonetta's on
Vanquish is
Steam?
pretty fun.
Yeah, Bayonetta and Vanquish are both on the computer now after years of people wanting it.
Wow, the personal computer?
Everything's coming out to fucking
Ooh,
PC. They
and-
just
and
announced
the-
all of fucking Kingdom Hearts, which I don't care.
All
but,
I
like,
want
that's pretty
is for
cool.
any commenters, if you've played Noida and you appreciate all the how tedious and difficult what I just described is, give me a, I don't know, just say
Gold star.
Ben. Just give me a gold star in chat in the comments, please. Thank you and goodbye.
Shout out to Daniel Dussault, or at Lasership84 on Twitter, who did the cover art of the Vanquish and Bayonetta PC release for the US, and also is designing me a VTuber.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
whoa, wait, so you're getting rid of old content and you're gonna be a VTuber now?
I'm not going to exclusively be a VTuber,
Well,
but I will
okay.
have a VTuber.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna play your games?
I just kind of figured having a VTuber would just be good for every conceivable reason. So
It is
I
pretty
think
cool.
Yeah.
I think VTuber
Okay.
VTuber Trixie is going to be a great time to
And powerful
revive
time.
a great and powerful
Great
time
powerful
to
time,
revive
yeah.
GameCube Forever, because I still get comments on I'm Games. When's GameCube Forever gonna keep going? I'm like, I don't know. It's not my project. Don't ask me.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
GameCube forever.
If
That's
there's
right.
any video gaming project I would continue, that would be the
That
one.
and Tales of
So,
Tales of. I get
Yeah.
asked about it all the time.
Tales of is one where like I kind of don't see myself finishing it unless more of the fucking older games get translated, because not all the ones that I wanted to review have been. And like there's no effort that I could find at the time, at least, to finish them up.
I was thinking of doing game like series in that vein on game series I'd actually want to play, but I'm lazy and I haven't done it yet. It was either going to be Discussing Disgaea or The Legacy of Kain. Those are 2 games series I like to go through.
Well, I mean, you'd have to play like 300 hours of Disgaea.
I know that's what scares me, because like I don't even know if I like the games. I just look at the art and I'm like, the art looks pretty cool, and that's all I know about them so far.
Do you like tactics games?
They're pretty fun. I'm sure I'll have fun. I just don't know if I want to.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance?
Yeah, it was a great game.
Okay, it's like I would say like it's along the
It's
lines
like that,
of
but
that
like
kind
goofy.
of
From what little
going
I
into
can
battles.
understand.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I have like 5,000 hours to actually do all
The
that.
biggest problem with the Disgaea games and a lot of the Nipponichi games is that there's like you want there to be way more cutscene and story, and there's not very much. I don't know. Maybe you'll feel
Nipponichi
different, Tom.
Are the guys
No.
who made Disgaea, right?
Correct.
Yes.
I
what we're
really
talking about
really
currently.
liked. Oh, so, okay. I must have missed the name, but I really liked Disgaea. And then I think before Disgaea 2 was out, they had La Pucelle Tactics was out, and I thought
Yes.
La Pucelle Tactics was lame as hell. I
That
was
game is too fucking slow.
discouraged.
So that was actually their first game for the PS2, because
but I think it was released second in America or something like that.
it was. I think it was off the success of Disgaea that they started releasing their other games. I have all the old Nipponichi games, and fucking La Pucelle is like the amount of time it takes for every turn to happen is just like preposterous. The game takes fucking forever, and it's unplayably slow in my opinion. I don't care if the mechanics get interesting or whatever. It just takes too much patience. They fixed all that.
Have people seen? Have I talked about the pictures of me cosplaying as Master Lamington from Disgaea at Anime Boston in like 2006?
I have never seen this.
No, it sounds
I'm not.
mythical.
I'm not gonna find them. But anyone who has stalked my old Facebook is or MySpace or whatever can find. Like they're on the internet. I look like a fucking dweeb. But yeah, I have
like
these
a dweeb
huge
now.
wings that my mom helped me make.
Incredible.
And Eleazar. I don't know. I'll try and find the picture somewhere, and if I find it, throw it up here, I guess. Okay. Even though it's embarrassing, and I got my stupid long high school hair, and I look all stupid and shit. But that's okay.
That's right.
okay.
Just post a photo next to it of Nate with the Vampire Hunter D hat, and it'll balance out.
He was dressed as Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII at that Anime Boston that year. So, well, I mean, I think his costume was a little less embarrassing than mine, just because it's a character people actually know.
I don't know.
But he had the claw and everything. Okay.
The obscurity.
I just wanted
is
to
powerful.
bring attention to that to embarrass myself.
Excellent.
Yeah, I really wanted to love all those Nipponichi games because of when I was younger, I really wanted to be good at tactics games because it would mean I was smart, and I was not smart, so I was bad at them. So I owned a lot of tactics games and never got very far in any of them. But like other than that, like the characters looked really cool and like were aesthetically interesting, but most of the cutscenes are just like goofy nonsense that kind of flits by, and it takes a long time for any kind of narrative to get involved, and even then, like the characters don't take the situation they're in seriously at all. Like it's constantly breaking the fourth wall. It's it's very slapstick in that way. So like it was hard for me to get invested enough to want to play the hundreds of hours of the game, because at the time I was playing RPGs because of the story. Like I wanted to have to see cool anime characters do fun things and have a plot, and Disgaea is like, it was for the tactics game. It's like, this is not a story-based game.
They
at
have
all.
such a cool aesthetic.
They do.
They look and they feel so cool, even though the story is like very, very superficial and like very doesn't really take itself seriously at all. I wanted to, they make those the Prinny games that are like a spin-off.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I always wanted to try, but like I didn't have the platform they were on, and like I heard reviews that were like it's okay. The reviews seem pretty mixed on those, but I never tried them myself.
I had a friend who was into them, so I assume they're fine. If you like the Disgaea series, but like all of the Nippon Ichi games, just like the dialogue can be so obnoxious. It's always like all the characters are loud. They're all shouting at each other, insulting each other, and just kind of being terrible trash humans. Do you remember that video Jesse did about the Witch and the 100 Knight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That summarizes all my thoughts on those games. Really.
That was his first not a review, wasn't it?
I think so.
Believe it was. What a classic.
Tragic. Okay. Well, anecdotes. What happened? What's everyone been up to? Now.
Insane.
I told you. I
playing
went.
Noise.
I told you I
You
went
just
to hell
played
and I went to a
Noise.
parallel universe.
I'm-
And I made ambrosia.
I'm in hell right now. Comcast is my worst enemy right now. I hate them. They suck. They're terrible. So I think the last time I was on the PCP, I was talking about how Plex is sick, and I'm just like building my Plex empire. Because
Wait, I don't remember what Plex is.
Wait, Tom, you have Plex?
I do.
You have Plex?
What is Plex? Is that a...
What?
Plex.
I don't think you have talked about it. I don't remember.
Talk to us about it under the table and not in public, if you will.
What? Why? What?
Oh, is it like crack cocaine you have?
Yeah. I'm doing hardcore drugs. No, and Plex is
What
just
is
like
it?
Plex is an
Help
app
me.
you get on your computer, and it takes all of your torrents and shit, and definitely legal downloads you have, and it basically
Okay.
gives them like a front end that looks kind of like Netflix, like populates it with like thumbnails and metadata and all that shit.
Okay.
And then you can like share your library with people if you want, and people can like access your basically all your like media downloads.
Okay. So wait, it's like it's sort of like a shell in which
Essentially.
to
Yeah.
like display or like interface with torrents and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's the
Okay.
convenience of torrents with the presentation of Netflix.
It's the Windows to the torrents DOS.
Sure.
Sounds
The
a bit
most
like
ideal-
popcorn time.
The most ideal scenario I've been dreaming of building in my house for years is to have a server computer that just is full of fucking all the video files of all the stuff you want to watch, and then you just have a Plex set up, and from whatever computer you access, it's literally like just going to Netflix and watching stuff off your server computer.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now, because I got like the smart TV and like the phone and like all that the little plugins. So like all the screens in my house that I access have access to my Plex server now.
So that was like that was one of the hopes of what we were trying to do back in Boston.
If only Plex was as good back then as it is now. But it's like it works great, and I love it. And it's awesome. And so it was so awesome. I told my real life friend Devin, because he's like been a media hoarder for years, and I'm just like, hey, you should add your shit to my Plex so it can be
beautiful.
super powered. So he's like, all right. So I bring my hard drive over to his place. We're transferring everything over, and he gets high, and he doesn't realize that he's sitting on the cable for the hard drive, and he knocks it over, and it falls over, and in the middle of like a like 12-hour transfer all day. We've just been hanging out, and like at like 10% left, the hard drive tips over and dies. So all
Does
of
it
my
get
shit
bricked?
gone. All of the shit he'd been transferring all day gone. So everything gets destroyed. I'm like, oh, I feel my soul. It hurts. All those rare fucking 1080p Godzilla and Ultraman things I'll take forever to find. So my heart shrivels up into nothing, and I'm a shell of a man.
It's so fucking
And so
painful.
in January, like this is like the beginning of the year, so I'm like, I need to start rebuilding my empire from nothing again. This is like the third time my hard drives have died. So I start doing this. I'm like, oh god, that was like terabytes of shit. I'm like, okay, here we go. So I start doing this. I'm like, this is already a bad thing. But I find out that in January, Comcast was like, hey, you now have a terabyte data cap. Everybody has a terabyte data cap on their home internet. There's no unlimited internet unless you pay $30 more a month now. 1 terabyte data cap. So like January 7th, data cap hit because I'm just downloading all of this shit. I'm like, oh fuck. And they're like, don't worry. The first time you do it, we won't charge you. But after this, it's another up to $50 a month for using more than a terabyte of data.
How are data caps real? How is this a thing they're allowed?
Don't you love how
Because
Comcast is like, it's the middle of a pandemic, everybody's working from home, internet is essential. This is the time for data caps. So they've been testing it out, I guess, in like 20 states for the last like couple years. But like this month, or last month, January, is when they're like, nationwide, every customer now has a 1 terabyte data cap. And they're claiming this is to make things cheaper. I'm like, no. Because if it's $50 more for unlimited data, and I had unlimited data last year, it's not cheaper. Don't lie to me, you motherfucker. So it is now. So this month, I'm like, all right, I got to cut back on like my downloads. I got to space this out a little bit. It's only halfway through the month. We're already at 75%, and that's with me not trying. So I'm like, this is gonna be a problem. This
is preposterous.
They probably mean it's cheaper for them because like everybody is downloading stuff, and
yeah, and it's so bullshit because it's like you go look at their like unlimited data plans. Like you can only do it if you can only do if you rent their like expensive router as well, so that's extra money. It's like more money to get unlimited data by itself than it is to get unlimited data with their fucking router, because then they can use that to like also project out a network so their phone customers get access to Wi-Fi everywhere. And I'm just like, this is the worst company of all time. So
from what I understand, the American internet systems is like there's like 5 or something a small amount of companies that have like monopolies in certain areas.
They do.
Yeah. And they've like gathered together to decide who gets
it's not
what.
even so much it's not that they have monopolies as that there are only a few that are even remotely decent.
It's like a cartel. It's like they've carved up the country. It's like, this is our fiefdom that we're gonna be here and you're in it. Like, right. Because like my friend who lives in Ohio was like, why don't you just get like Spectrum? Spectrum's been great for us. I'm like, you think Spectrum's available here? We only have 2 options. Everyone only has 2 options.
Also, literally everyone in New York's biggest complaint is Spectrum. Like, it's fucking terrible. It's just as bad as Comcast. They're all bad.
Oh yeah,
they're all equally bad.
Because they don't compete with anybody. There's no need to be good.
Right. Like where I'm at, it's like I have Cox because that's the one that has good internet. There are 8 other options. They're all like, you know, like 90s dial-up level
right.
speeds.
The satellite
that
internet,
pitch,
that's bullshit. That Elon Musk is trying to fix right now. But like, they're still really bad. Yeah, it's a nightmare. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I guess I can't complain too hard because I am doing definitely legal things. But still,
no, you can complain. You can definitely complain. It doesn't matter.
Because like I'm just thinking, like, even if
it doesn't matter why you need a terabyte of data.
Well, here's the thing: I had to reformat my computer, right? So I'm thinking, like, what if I want to like download all my Steam games? I haven't reinstalled Steam yet. I'm like, I can't do that this month. Like, I just can't play my Steam games this month because I'll blow the data cap. Just trying to download like Doom Eternal's like 100 gigs. It's like that's a 10th of my monthly internet usage right there. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Shit. Like if you like download an image, like enough images, you'll run out of space.
Yeah, I mean, like streaming a
about,
YouTube
like,
video in like 1440p, that's like a couple gigs. If you like watch because I've been watching Critical Role, that's like 4 hours an episode at 1080p, and there's like 200 episodes. I could probably blow through the data cap just watching Critical Role every day, like I've been doing.
So you can stream the. Oh, yeah,
everything counts as data. So like
downloading is like anything that is involved
just data
in the
usage.
internet.
Data usage, just using the internet. So like, you know, my whole family watches a fuck ton of Netflix. We don't have cable anymore, so that's all data being used at 1080p constantly all day.
I'm thinking about how like for all of our jobs, we have to like send files to people at, you know, filmed at professional quality, hopefully, you know, like
uploading YouTube
big-ass
content,
fucking 60 frame goddamn,
you know, your output,
files.
your like 4 gig YouTube file you gotta upload. That's it's a nightmare. It's the worst. And of course, you know, my dad's been working from home for like the last year, and like he's like going like dialing into like the fucking secure like military encrypted internet thing, so that's like data and shit constantly. So it's just like we're fucked. There's too many people in this residence for a terabyte of data a month.
They found a way to squeeze more money out of you, and you can't do anything about it.
My little sister's been binging all of Dragon Ball Z because she's never watched it. You know how big Dragon Ball Z is. She's watching it in 1080p. There's no way this terabyte cap is gonna work.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's really bad. So, and of course, since nobody here understands internet except for me, everyone's like, when they get a message about the internet, they're like, it's your fault. You're doing it right. I'm like, oh, it's not just me. So yeah, it's the worst.
is
I
there?
do believe
Ooh,
Comcast is like a regular winner
big
of the
tech
worst,
bad.
worst
Big
company
tech
in
bad.
America.
Yeah, they are the legendary
contest.
worst company in America, multiple years running, and now I know why. I mean, I
Wow,
already knew why.
I bet
but-
there's stiff competition for that too.
Well,
That's
the-
EA
impressive.
is
There's-
usually the runner-up.
There's three internet providers in this area. There's Comcast, and then because we're in Massachusetts, we also have Verizon Fios, which doesn't have data caps yet, but I'm sure they will soon because like, why would they not? And then there's HughesNet, which is satellite internet, which is like 1/10 the speed, has a monthly data cap of 50 gigs, and is twice the price. So really competitive over there.
Based.
Yeah.
We gotta
So-
go back to
Isn't
the
this
old
like-
pigeon
hold on.
sending messages.
Yeah.
Isn't this what like the like Copa and Pipa were about? That like this stuff is like they're not allowed to do this,
That
or
that
this is like a
happened.
net neutrality thing.
Well,
Net
there's no net
neutrality,
neutrality. There's no net
scuppered.
neutrality anymore. That's been gone for a couple years. But
oh really?
So
Yeah,
like all of the
okay.
yelling about
That's
Sopa
cool.
and Pipa, it didn't actually change anything, unfortunately.
Nice.
I mean, the first
They
thing
went through
Ajit
that.
Pai did, like back in 2016, was completely destroy net neutrality in America. But net neutrality, this is what I think is probably going to happen. This is why I was tweeting about it a couple weeks ago. My thought is that what they're going to do is like, this is step one, because Comcast is like, all right, we're going to have data caps everywhere. Step two is going to be, hey man, data's getting pretty tight during COVID, huh? Well, we're going to be really beneficial to you because we own NBC, because we're Comcast. The new Peacock streaming service, because there's no net neutrality anymore, that's not going to count towards your data cap. So all you normies who are streaming Netflix and blowing through your data cap, you should subscribe to our streaming service instead, and you can use it free of charge because we won't count that towards your monthly data, so we can get your subscription money from Peacock as well. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So
Okay.
I expect that to happen in the next couple months.
Based.
All right, if that's the case, what do they have on there?
Uh,
What's the likelihood that actually works for them?
It probably will not work at all, but like these companies do things that are completely stupid all of the time. So
Of course.
It's easy enough for them to just go, whoops, and then correct course,
Right.
and just eat the money, fire a guy, and
I mean, what are they going to do? They're probably going to make money regardless. Like, they're going to be people who are going to need unlimited internet.
well, you
so-
have no fucking choice.
Right.
You're going like they're going to make less money, which to them is akin to like losing a limb, but it's not the same as actually losing a limb because they can grow their limbs back.
Yeah.
I think if that's a system, like, well, yeah, it requires like a market that is competitive with itself. Because like I was imagining, if there's more than one choice, then the other choices could say we won't have a data cap. Now you can watch Netflix, and because Netflix is so big, that'll be a huge draw. They'll get way more of the customers in the area. But the way that it's carved up, it's like not possible
Yeah, you
to
can't do
have a good choice. So people are fucked no matter what.
It's not like, because like the most efficient analog, I think, in terms of like the US is like cell phone providers. Like the big four cell phone providers, there's only three now actually because fucking T-Mobile bought Sprint. But like there's three of them, which is not great, but they all operate everywhere. So like they're kind of like forced to not be completely scumbags. Like they all have to have feature parity with each other, otherwise they'll get BTFO'd. But that's not how it works for home internet. So it was only a matter of time before it all devolves into the garbage I'm dealing with right now. And it sucks, and it's gay, and I hate it, and die. That's my story.
Agreed.
that's my
Highly
tale
agreed.
of woe.
That's
Give and
fucked.
take.
I found
What
The
have you
Adventures
been-
of Ultraman on VHS rip again from 1981, though. Woo! That was a hard torrent to find
Yay!
again.
I love media.
That's
Give
the
it
funniest
hog.
fucking thing, because like it's like this like dub of like this like old 1980s animated Ultraman cartoon that came out, and they, for some reason, like America back in like the mid 80s, they took it, they made it a movie, redubbed everything. But the main villain is called Barack the Star-Lord, and I still find that funny.
Wait, that's great.
It's a 10 out of 10. It's worth watching just for that.
I'm looking at.
It's also the first project by the studio that would eventually be Sunrise, who went on to animate Gundam.
Oh.
How do you spell Barack?
It's Barrack.
Barack.
In that, I believe, but it's dubbed, so I've never seen it spelled out. So I've always just assumed that's how it was spelled.
As in Obama.
Yeah.
I cannot find it on Google.
This is like, you can see the whole movie on YouTube. That's where I found it. I couldn't find a torrent again, but someone just uploaded it to YouTube like 3 months ago, knowing that I would need it.
What a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
I search Barack the Star-Lord Ultraman and I find your tweet. I find a tweet. Well, I find a tweet from you from May 26, 2019.
Yeah, because that was the first time I was looking. Because I was looking for it initially. That was like the first time I found it. Because I used to rent this on VHS back in Blockbuster all the time, and I wanted to watch it in 2019. And I finally found it after like doing this huge big tweet thread of like desperately looking everywhere for this fucking movie. I could only find it in German for a while, and it was really pissing me off.
Based.
I got to do a PCP lecture on the adventures of Ultraman, because clearly I'm the only person in the world who knows about it.
I mean, yeah, perfect. Radcon 5 when? We're doing it.
We're coming up on a year of Radcon 4, the year anniversary.
We're
Getting that time again,
year.
boys.
It's March, end of March or something. Or March 16th, I think, was the end of Radcon 4.
God, it really feels like that. That's like the last like thing of note I've done. So like everything between.
I'm so sorry.
It's been like a year of just nothing, and it's.
We definitely. Well, I don't know about all you. I don't know about you people, but I definitely died at Radcon 4, and the rest of everything has just been me in the afterlife being tormented in purgatory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all died in a little way. I think
we literally like the plane crashed, and I one day I will remember, but at the moment.
At the moment, you're like
for my ironic punishment to take effect.
All that's happening in your head is just like a simulation of what could happen in the future, and then you'll realize that you died back then, and none of this actually happened.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that the Brony lecture is the last thing that I actually did. Like I think that was the last thing Digi ever did, and then Digi actually died there, and what you've seen has been like an aftershock, like ghost, like a force ghost of Digi since then. And it's finally dissolved into nothingness.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
I've got to say, Void Chasers and Void Gazers has been a little hard to understand, and I haven't really made an attempt to try and understand.
What do you mean by hard to understand exactly?
I think it was just the documentary thing was very long. And
it's just a road trip blog.
It was a road trip blog, and I was like, okay,
what that is. Yeah.
I didn't watch all of it. I watched a bit of it, and then the podcast, there was something about a banana. I was like, okay, this is clearly like very silly, on the surface. I don't know whether I'm interested, and I just sort of stopped paying attention to what was happening.
A good way to find out is to fucking watch it, Gibbon.
That's right.
Damn.
I mean, it's just.
True.
It's just vlogs and podcasts and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
The Void Gazers is a variety show, is how I would describe it. More so, it's because the conceit is that it could be thought of as a podcast because it's got like call-ins and it's discussions and stuff, but like it's meant to be watched. It's highly edited, and it's got lots of different segments where there's like a cooking segment in each episode. There's all kinds of shit going on. So yeah, it's a variety hour meant to feel like one of those like Japanese morning shows or something.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with Japanese morning shows, but I believe you.
I just felt like I should mention that, even though like I could easily have given it a chance, and I didn't, and that's
okay.
Because I see that opinion a lot, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I feel the I don't get it sort of feeling, and the obvious solution is to watch the thing that is there.
I don't understand. I don't really understand not getting it. I understand not liking it.
It's easy to not get something that you haven't watched.
Subscribed for, or if it's not what you subscribe for. I understand that, but I don't understand not getting it. Like, it is what it is. I don't know.
I just wasn't sure what the direction of the channel was, but I don't know.
Who cares? Why would that matter? And how would you figure it out other than by watching the content?
Look, I'm playing devil's advocate, okay? I'm just...
Are you?
Sometimes you
Oh, is
just
that
need
right?
that clear pitch, you know, like this is what you get.
Yeah.
I have seen people say, yeah, that like.
I guess
Here's
what it is. Here's what it is.
Well, the
is
funny
that-
thing about that
Well,
is
I mean,
people...
what was ever the direction of the channel?
Well, no,
Right.
it wasn't like the direction of the channel was like difficult to understand. I think it's just like I'm so used to Digi being so open and so long form about discussing the nature of the channel, and I was really into befriending the internet, and then that stopped, and I was like, oh, what's all this weird new stuff? They're doing weed in the car. That's interesting, I guess.
Just gotta watch.
It's too visual. I wanted a podcast.
There's if you really want what I think you want,
The
go to
problem
the
is you
Void
can't
Chasers
tab
video.
over and listen
No,
to it.
go to Void Chasers episode 1. Skip to the last 17 minutes, which is just me pacing around vlogging, explaining the point of the previous 2.5 hours. Then
Okay.
watch the 2.5 hours that lead up to it. Then it'll make sense.
Thank you.
As for Void Gazers, skip to the part in episode 2 where I'm sitting on a bench and I spend about 10 minutes explaining that show in that episode. So it'll all make sense after that.
All right, epic.
Pro strats revealed.
Well, the
It's
thing
really
is,
the Dark
it-
Souls of.
Well, what drives me
And
insane
of
is that
anything.
throughout my whole career, every time I make a shift, it's always met with people saying like, "I don't get it. Like, what's going on?" And I usually have made an update video that has like 100 views because
Right,
no one
yeah.
watches update
I always
videos.
watch those,
They're
but-
fucking boring. Like I do too. So like I was always confused why people wouldn't, but like I would release my next video, which is in the new style, and like every comment is, "What's this about?" And it's like, well, I just explained it last time. So at some point, I just gave up on ever doing that again.
You just gotta take that video and put it in
definitely
front
know
of
the
next video.
feeling
Uh,
of like giving up explaining.
Well, and the worst is like, well, where am I going to put it? Like at the start of the video that is supposed to just stand on its own, because then when you come back to this video in a year, it's like, well, now there's this fucking intro that is completely irrelevant. You know, like it only was relevant to the moment that the video came out. Like people, it's the weird thing about YouTube is that people have a tendency to think about it like video hits my sub feed, I watch it, it's about today. But like, actually, these videos stick around forever, and I get most of my views through people watching my old shit. Like, so, you know, I consider them all legacy content in that way, and like to have that, you know, that legacy start with something that was totally incidental to that moment. I don't know. It's not the worst, but it's annoying, you know.
Yeah. I will go.
Especially if it's long-winded.
I will go check those. So it was like the last 17 minutes of the podcasty thing.
The Void Chasers, the vlog documentary, the last 17 minutes is me pacing around, like, decompressing everything that happened throughout the video. Yeah.
Okay. I think earlier you were also asking me what I've been doing the past week.
Yeah.
I have well, I've been there's the secret project that I've been working on the weekends that you can learn about
Same.
on the
Me
Money
too.
Spenders podcast.
I have also been working on my secret project.
Secret
by the
project,
way.
secret project.
I
Hype.
also do the thing.
It's secret,
different
not
thing.
It's
A different
it's
thing.
Shut up! I'm saying things. It's secret for managing hype reasons, not because I'm being coy or anything. But I want it to be more robustly completed to a point where it's like now it's a good time to mention it. So stay tuned. So that's most of my bulk of my weekday stuff. But on the weekend, or rather just every night, I've been getting into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and
Interesting.
it's a incredibly good show. Like I in my head, in the back of my head, aside from the times when Jesse has said it was a really good show, before that I just assumed it was like, oh, it's a Saturday morning cartoon-esque TV, like Disney Channel, Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of sort of thing. Not that it was like...
It's like a series. It's kind of like a drama, right?
It's a drama. It's a teen drama. It's like... It's more to closer to an HBO thing than it is to a Disney Channel thing, for sure.
Right.
And there's a lot of really good writing, good comedy, great acting, very, very cheesy choreography, but I kind of love it. and makeup and effects and stuff. It's really quite fucking good, and I'm really into it. We're on season 2 right now.
I'm pretty
And
sure
Buffy
that's
is
like
so cool.
Well, Jenny Nicholson said that Vampire Diaries is better than Buffy, so
No, they just write in their
fuck
diary
you.
like, I'm still alive, I guess, but I'm in the dark because I can't go out in the sun time. That sucks. It's been 1,001 days since I've seen sunlight. That's all the Vampire Diaries they would write. That's the only thing they would write in those diaries of theirs.
I've never seen Buffy. A bunch of fucking nerds. A bunch of stupid band chicks that I had a crush on in high school liked it. Fuck that show.
Buffy's cool. Xander and Willow are like the comic relief sidekick, normal school, high school friends characters. And Xander is really funny. He's like the Sokka from Avatar: Last Airbender of the group. And Willow is really funny as well. I can't think of a comparison, like another character from another thing that's popular.
She's the Dark Souls of the group.
She's the Dark Souls of the group because she has the best comedy liners. She's the best dry humor. No, I guess not dry humor. I don't know what I'm fucking saying. I'm not like a reviewer or anything. I'm just like Buffy is cool.
That's all you need to know.
Well, that makes me want to
no
watch
thoughts,
Buffy.
head empty.
I've always wanted to watch Buffy.
it's cool to watch just because it's 90s and so many things from that era are so much more antiquated than they were 10 years ago.
Is there witchcraft in Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, there's tons of things. It's mostly for the most part, monster of the week, and it's not always a vampire. So they could say any weird occulty sort of thing. Does Buffy herself have powers or any kind of occult shit going on, or is she just like a regular person who fights shit? She's the Slayer, which means that every generation there's a Slayer who is a female and she kills vampires, and then there's the Watcher or the something, and he's the informant for the Slayer, and he's the librarian at the school she's going to, and she just punches and kicks and has a stake. She's basically just martial arts.
But she's friends with witches and demons and stuff, right?
There's one friendly vampire, called Angel, who falls in love with her because he's fucking stupid.
There's also a show called Angel, right? Does he have a spin-off show?
I guess he does. Yeah. I haven't seen much other than the first few things of Buffy. I did remember seeing a YouTube video about how the HD remaster of Buffy that's put on Netflix is it's cropped.
It's cropped wrong.
It's zoomed in and cropped to the detriment of the show, and there's a lot of effects that are
the
butchered.
HD remaster shows more than it's supposed to show, and you can see the set on the
No,
margins or something like that.
I don't know about maybe that happens, but from what I can tell, it seems to have been zoomed in from 4:3 to the 1080p aspect ratio, so the top and the bottom are cut off a little bit, which doesn't matter most of the time, but sometimes it's pretty weird where a character is blocked to be just their head is visible at the bottom of the screen, and the person at that they're talking to is standing up next to them, and their head is at the top of the screen and slightly cut off, and it just looks awkward. But only sometimes.
I hate that shit. They did the same thing to The Simpsons too. They re-released it with just bad cropping that ruins jokes sometimes. It's in the wrong aspect ratio. And it's so annoying because normies will never know. Unless you're a nerd that watches YouTube videos that complain about media, you'd never know that this if you're watching Simpsons for the first time and you're just some guy who's you're a kid, you're 18 or whatever, and you're Simpsons is a classic show that I've never seen. I guess let's binge it all. And then you watch this fucked up version that's some of it is ruined. It's sad. It's a sad thought. I don't like it.
I want to get to the part in Buffy where the guy says, "I'm drowning in footwear." I've always wondered.
I think that's
which
literally
episode
in the last
that is.
episode.
Yeah,
if I
so
remember correctly.
I've also heard that it's a great show, so I don't feel like rushing to get to there.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the ride. It's very good. Very good. So good that I would even recommend it.
Whoa.
No.
That's
Fuck
crazy.
you. No,
even in the
it's
HD like
impossible.
cropped version, it's
I'm gonna
mostly
check it out.
perfect.
I'm gonna watch it.
My-
I want to have things to talk about
My
with
pain-
my friends on the Procrastinators podcast.
My
Yeah.
pain is
That'll be the
immeasurable.
day.
I literally, when Gib was starting to talk about this, I'm like, oh, sick. I'm gonna go download. I can't. and now I hate Comcast even
No.
more. I was ready to go add it to my
Disappointment is
Plex
immeasurable.
God.
legally,
It's ruined.
and
Dude, let me check. Is there a fucking DVD box set of Buffy?
I'm sure there
that-
is, but I'm not gonna be some fucking disgusting physical media. TV
No, it's great. Physical media is so cool
If I'm
because
gonna buy
doesn't matter
physical
how
media,
evil
I'm gonna
Comcast is,
buy
I
the
have
official
thing.
1080p Blu-ray releases of Ultraman, Ultra 7, Ultraman Taro in steel boxes. That shit's pretty fucking cool, and my speed. But like Buffy,
Oh boy, these episodes are 45 minutes long.
They're
This is
quite
gonna be
long.
an endeavor.
It's quite a big.
it's an hour-long
thing.
show.
Oh look! Buffy Buffy Complete Season 1 to 7 20th Anniversary Edition DVD 2017 for like £43. That's not that much.
I mean, it's not terrible, but
7
like,
seasons,
I could just wait till next month and then download it.
dude. VHS.
the,
I've watched-
the first.
if
the
you like
first
Buffy-
9 are all on Daily Motion.
I mean, but I'm still using data.
Oh shit, you're
It
right.
doesn't
I forgot.
matter.
I forgot you can't stream either. That's fucked, dude.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Oh,
They
what
should
about-
at least yeah. God.
What kind of data cap do you have on your phone?
Nothing. It's literally more efficient to watch things on my phone now than it is to use my actual
just
devices.
Tether your phone. To
You
your
only have 2
computer and
gigs of
watch it that
tethering
way.
per month. I can only watch it on the phone now. It's a crime against humanity.
Well, you know, it's from the
anyone wanna-
90s. It'll look fine on your phone.
I guess. I gotta get like one of those like fucking Game Boy things where you snap it on there, makes
What
the
about
screen look
can't
bigger.
you use are there phone to HDMI like converters? Can you?
I mean, I could like cast things, I guess, with like a Chromecast or something. But like now, I'm living like a fucking caveman. This is
yeah,
this is
Plex,
unacceptable.
You can cast through Plex, I'm sure.
Maybe. Oh, God, I hate it. I hate it.
This is where you're in. This is just where you're at. There's no other options.
Yeah.
You've gotta get into like the black market, like physical media circuit that used to exist.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
VHS.
It's gonna have to come back.
You gotta bring
I'm
it
gonna have to
back.
start it. I'm gonna have to convert
Well,
all my.
there's this amazing
my
place you
Plex.
can go. Actually, called the Philippines, where you can
Oh.
legally purchase
I've heard of this
physical
store.
versions of literally everything that exists for very, very cheap, and your American dollar is worth way the fuck more there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you even go to a different country now? Is that possible?
I think it might be. I
Do
don't
they
know.
s-
I don't know.
do
I
they-
don't know about the Philippines.
I
know
don't.
what
I don't think America is like
Yeah, I don't think
holding-
America.
has like travel restrictions,
I guess not.
I know like
or maybe I could be
there
wrong.
are people who are restricted travel from America because like
No.
we're still
Here's what they
bad.
do. You're allowed to get on the plane. You're allowed to buy the ticket, but then as soon as you're in the plane, it flies off. They shoot it down.
Yeah. Because that way they still make their money. That makes sense.
They can't, but they can't cancel the plane because that would just cost them too much in red tape. It's cheaper to just keep it going.
Unironically, though, if you really did like, this is not even a bad way to amass a collection like I'm describing. Because while it might be like probably $1,000 for the plane ticket to the Philippines, you could stay there for a month on less than $1,000 and buy a media collection like with like for the $1,000 that you would spend. What I'm trying to say is, I once went to the Philippines with $2,000, and I bought a lot of figures.
You
Most
lived like
of
a
my
king.
collection I got there. So
God, yeah.
it was very cheap to live, and it was very cheap to come back with a whole lot of shit. So unironically, if you're an adventurous person, just fly out to a third world country, buy a whole bunch of contraband, and mail it to yourself.
Incredible. Well, if I get that desperate, maybe I will. Don't spend the extra $50 a month on unlimited internet. Spend $2,000 going to the Philippines. I got you.
You might
You gotta spend money to make money.
the conversion rate from USD to the Filipino whatever is good.
The
But if you
Filipino.
convert- But if you convert those US dollars to Bitcoin, then you'll have that's even better.
That's true.
Then the-
I've made like $1,000 in Bitcoin in the last month.
Damn.
I
Just
fucking
from
hate
everybody
you.
else in the world.
I fucking hate you so much. I'm so upset.
I'm on the.
I looked
I
at
need
it,
that. I wouldn't be able to pay rent probably with that.
I looked at it like an hour ago, and I saw that it had kept going. I want you to know, Digi, that I am actively rooting against you because every time I see Bitcoin go up, I get angry. I get mad because I sold it. I sold it at a slight loss.
Just
and
wait.
I was like,
Just wait for
not
the next
touching
dip.
that anymore.
Just wait for the next dip. It's fine.
Oh, you're a fucking dip. You'll buy the dip. Oh, buy the dip, then. No, never.
£1.27.
I'm done.
That's
I'm
what
fucking
my
done.
Bitcoin is at now.
GME fucked me. Bitcoin fucked me. Everything
I don't
sucks.
have this
Life is
Bitcoin to
terrible.
like pull it out at any point. Like I might spend some of it, but like it's there to be there. Like Bitcoin is going to only ever go up. Like in the long term. So and Ethereum. So I'm not trying to spend that shit.
I'm glad Ethereum's going up because I got like $40 of free Ethereum from M.Strange in like 2018, and now it's worth like almost $300. I'm like, yeah,
Fuck
sick.
yeah. Yeah, I had
My Dogecoin's going down, but I'm still up almost 300% in my initial investment of Dogecoin. So
wait, what's Dogecoin?
it's at 6 cents. I bought it 1
I
cent.
was shocked to
so.
see that it has continued to rise since after the peak. Okay, it's down a little bit.
Oh, it's
okay.
it was high. Its high was like 8.5 cents, so it's still down.
It reached it again. Like it, I mean, most things they spike really, like GME spiked really high and then it settled down again. Dogecoin spiked really high and it seemed like it was settled down, but then it went back. It went back to where it was spiking to. And I was shocked and appalled. Okay, it looks like it's kind of consolidating right now.
I'm hoping Bitcoin crashes so I can actually put some money into it.
No, just put money into it now. Don't. That's not how this works. Just put money in right now.
I have £1 in right now.
Well, put more in.
£1.20.
Bitcoin could crash.
Could
crash.
But that wouldn't hurt you unless you spent it when it crashed. Like you just hold it until it's uncrashed. Like it will uncrash. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are stable enough at this point as like the go-tos that like the entire fucking crypto economy is built on. That like
if it crashes though, then it would be better to buy when it crashes.
Like let me put it
before.
I guess it makes intuitive sense that since it's like been high, like it's got high and then it stayed pretty high for a while, and
it's gone up like considerably, continually over. Like if you look at the trend over time, it's just going up.
I mean,
like,
it's pretty fucked when you think about it. That Elon Musk like made one purchase and it like doubled the value of Bitcoin. It's pretty weird.
And he can do that anytime is the other thing. Like that can keep happening. It's all about how people are playing the long game with the market. Because like it doesn't necessarily benefit people holding Bitcoin for it to
I've decided after doing this whole stock
but
thing and like doing the GameStop shit and like having Doge and Ethereum that crypto and stock market is gay. It's good, but it's also incredibly gay and I hate it.
I hate it.
I mean, I'm up.
I have hated every second of being involved with this stuff. It has been a miserable, soul-crushing experience.
$200.
I love it. I'm fucking mad into it. I love it.
$200.
It's always good. It's always good when the market is bullish. It's always good when the market is bullish.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm up $200 on Dogecoin, and I am like insulted by the fact that like I just have $200 that I did nothing for, and I hate it, and it makes me like mad.
But you didn't do nothing. You made a sensible investment and were smarter than everybody else who didn't.
I'm with Tom. I'm with Tom. The fact that it paid off does not mean it was a sensible investment.
Not even that. It's just like call me an old-fashioned pro, but I feel like gains not made by direct labor is wrong and unethical.
I feel the opposite.
I know what you mean, but also like, okay, you can say that in a theoretical sense. Like what I'm saying, Tom, is that capitalism works on paper, but in practice it just doesn't pan out. It never works. And you're I don't know.
I don't think there's anything more capitalistic than the stock market.
There are plenty of other cases why like the wage labor is like you're in a it's an idealistic way of looking at things, and like I've already been convinced that it is not true that like an honest day's work for an honest day's pay makes the world go round or whatever. So like agreed, but like also I'm past it.
So what's your point? You said you hate it, but you're also disagreeing with me. So I don't know what your stance is at this point.
Well, it's just that.
Are you just mad that you lost money? Is that because like
I know you're not actually saying that it's. I know you're not actually saying that it's unethical. I'm just saying I understand that feeling, but I don't have it because I've been disillusioned of the idea that like working for your money is like the right thing.
Well,
Right,
money is
like,
wrong. Money is the problem.
That's
is
my
that
whole
it
thing.
Yeah.
It's like the next step is like,
Yeah, right,
all
money
of this
is wrong
is
from the
bullshit
get-go.
anyways.
Right, like
But I think
as long as
everything
it
past
exists,
barter is.
I don't think there should be a system that allows someone to do nothing and make more money than 99% of the population, like working all
Right.
day.
Sure.
And the fact that I'm benefiting
but-
from that
but-
system and helping it perpetuate, even in a tiny way, does make me want to retch. And I hate
Sure.
it.
But other people have been doing that all along.
Correct. And we should
So
murder
it's
those
not like
people.
it's a new
Wait,
thing.
Eleazar,
Yeah.
cut that out.
I
All
don't
I
wanna
know
get
is
banned.
that making
Yeah.
investment gives you investment capital to make more investment in the future so that you can actually put money into the things you want to do. And it's really, really great. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
I think
Unless it crashes, though. Unless it crashes,
If it
because it
crashes,
can happen
just leave
anytime.
just leave your money in there until it's good again.
Okay,
Don't
I mean,
pull it out when it crashes. Don't do
okay,
that. That's
yeah.
bad instincts. That's weird. That's stuff people do to kill themselves. Like, it's a weird suicide thing. Like, so okay, let me just. I want to run through my the simple story of my 3 years with crypto so far, because I started with just $50 in Ethereum, and it immediately went down in value, and it continued to stay down in value for 2 years. It was 2 years before the Ethereum was worth $50 again. And as soon as it went over $50, I was like, "Oh, okay. Like this thing's still alive and it's on the upswing again as it had been like I had bought in at a time when it was at its healthiest. Like it had just reached a new height. So I bought some. It dips for 2 years, reaches a new height again. So then at that point I put more money into Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think I had $100 in each as of last year. And then I put like $600 into Chainlink. And this was at a time where last August, like Chainlink was surging. I got in just before the peak. So I did make money when it peaked, but then it immediately went like to half of its worth and stayed there for a long time. And so I was like, well, either I just lost this bubble, because it was completely possible that Link was only ever going to have one bubble burst at this moment, and it would never be worth this amount again. But there is logic. When it comes to Bitcoins, it's not just gambling, because there is actual reasons that each of these coins exist.
Yeah.
So, like, in terms of what Bitcoin and Ethereum are so valuable because the entire structure of the economy is built on them. So, Chainlink is similar in that it helps to facilitate Ethereum's ability to work faster. So, the more like Chainlink there is, the better the whole system runs, essentially. So that like in that, because of that, I was like, okay, I'm going to hold on to this. But like I was down to like half of the value of it up until this whole fucking game stonks thing happened. And just because of this, my Chainlink increased in the, what had been originally 600, had been at 300 most of the time, is now worth 900. I transferred all that into Bitcoin immediately because I don't trust Chainlink enough to, you know, to stay at this height forever, but I do trust Bitcoin to keep going up, and I wanted my money there. So I still have a little bit in Chainlink in case it one day moons, as they say, where it just has a sudden spike and my $70 is worth something dramatically different. But like, actually, the fucking Ethereum and Bitcoin that I had $100 in each are now worth $500 each from this spike. Those I don't think are just going to drop. And even if they did, they would drop to a level that was still higher than what I bought in at. And then if I didn't sell then, it could still go higher up than what I even have as a current height. So
I have fucked up at every stage. Like I bought Bitcoin when it was like close to peaking. It went up for a while, but then it went down again. So that's when I sold. It's true. If I had just held it,
just don't sell. Never sell when you're down. Just never sell.
If I had just, I didn't sell when I was down. I sold basically when it was back to where I bought it. So like I lost like a slight amount. If I had just held it, I would be up like a ways. So I'm very angry, very upset. Fuck Elon Musk. It was the same with GameStop also. I bought it at like the literal peak. I bought it at the literal peak because I was like, okay, the hype train is real. I was going on Wall Street bets. I was seeing like everyone saying it's going to the moon. Oh my god, fear of missing out, FOMO. I gotta get in on the rocket before it goes. Okay, it didn't work. whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. It was for the
I will
memes. It was
say
for the meme, so it's all good.
a general good bet with all of this is if you are not plugged into any kind of financial sphere enough that you heard about it before other people did,
Yeah.
don't get in on it because you're in the shock.
The fact that I was
earthquake.
you're right. The fact that I was just hearing about it then, when I was not involved with the community, meant that like it had already gone.
If your advice is coming from Twitter, you're too late.
So I'm very smart though.
I mean, I still have my one share of GameStop. It's worth like a
I actually just bought more. I actually just bought more because I set an order to auto go off when it hit like $50 and it just hit $50.
I don't think it's gonna go up anytime soon.
I mean, as long
as
it doesn't go any lower than 50, I won't lose any more.
To me, the unsung power of all of this though is that like so many people who never would have ever gotten involved in stocks or fucking crypto just did.
Yeah.
And like even having a negative experience, at least you like get your foot in the door and know what it is.
True.
So you could say like, okay, well I know what the apps do. I know
the only good thing that's happened with my stock portfolio so far is that Sundial Growers did pretty good. I got it at 80 cents. It went up to like 4. I sold a little bit then. So I'm up on Sundial. I made some money there.
I've only lost money. I've only lost money on these volatile
I just want
stocks.
I just want Dogecoin to get to 10 cents. God.
Well, you didn't lose much money, so
I thought I was so clever. Well, I lost a little more.
The stuff I've seen people lose in this is ridiculous. Like the amount of down people will sell at is absolutely preposterous. Like I saw people who like as soon as Link went from $17 to $12, immediately sold their Link, even though they had thousands of dollars in it, because they're like, oh, I don't want it to go down any further. And it's like, well, you should have considered the money forfeit when you put it in.
Right.
Like that is the way you have to do
That's what I did
this.
with GameStop, and that's why I'm not that.
I put $500 in total, and I was like, well, I can't get a PS5, so I guess this is where that money's going.
Right. That's really the best way to look at it. Only put in money you won't miss. You know.
Yeah, that's what I did wrong. That's what I did wrong with Bitcoin. I put too much in, and if Bitcoin had fallen to 0, I would have been devastated by the loss. That's why I got paper hands, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't stay in. This is too dangerous. I took it out. Now it's up 50%. I would be way, way up. I'll never get over it.
Also, nobody listening to this, listen to anything I'm saying. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no money to my name except this crypto that I happen to have gotten lucky with because of GameStop.
Every time I hear someone making stock advice and then saying I'm not a financial advisor, all I think of is like YouTube videos where it's like, this is not my copyright. I don't claim copyright for this. I'm like, yeah, okay,
no.
Fuck you.
When I hear someone say that, I think, this guy knows to cover his bases. This guy is smart. I should listen.
The thing with all, the ethicalness, like, I think it's sort of immaterial. Like, it's easy to think of it as like, oh, you're not doing any work and you're making capital, and people work and they don't even get as much as you do.
It's more of a damnation of working than it is the stock market.
I don't think that there's a problem with
I make my living from
participating in
YouTube
it.
ad revenue, so I already don't like working for honest work for money is already like out the window for me. It's like that ship has sailed.
I mean, I think it's fair to consider artistic creation and entertainment to be honest work.
It's the hardest work of all.
Yeah, sure.
But
like
I think that
all it does really is just creates a lot of easy jealousy. Like you see people who have, in your eyes, done nothing necessarily, and then they become billionaires, and you're like, oh, well, not necessarily billionaires, but like they get thousands of something or other because they were in early on something, and you're like, fuck. He ego-raptored it. He fucking ego-raptored that cryptocurrency.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get jealous and to get really emotionally invested in it. And I don't like
which is the correct response.
I'm going to pitch you
you should use that to fuel your anger to fucking
super upset
bring
about
guillotines to people's doors.
The whole thing with the stock market is that like it's not for proles anyways, right? Because like even if like GameStop doubled, well here's my point. Even if GameStop had doubled in value when me and Ben bought in at like 300 and it was sitting at 600 right now, like we'd have $300 more. Hooray! Right. Like we don't have enough money to make any substantial money on the stock market. You know?
I
'Cause,
guess if you're considering, like, I mean, we're like particularly broke, like compared to, like, I think the stock market is great for like middle class people.
Over half of America can't afford like a $400 surprise bill. Like I'm have more savings than the majority of Americans, which blows my mind.
Right.
That's
true.
terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think the metagame of like the capitalist money system we're trapped in currently is that, like, basically in lieu of there being socialism, people want to create a like definitive self safety net. And so, like, most people who get involved in investment, like, if you see the people who talk about it online, almost all of them are just like, I just feel like I need to have at least $1 million or else I won't be able to survive this world. Like, it's just that mentality of, like, the safety of money that these people have, which is not even real. Money doesn't really make you safe. The best way to be safe is have connections and people who will don't want to kill you. Which, if you have more money, more people want to kill you, so it's not necessarily the best way to go.
I mean, money. Well, I know what you mean. Money does make you safe from some things.
It does. I think it makes you safe from poverty, and that's a difficult thing to live with.
Poverty's pretty dangerous. Or so I've been
anything
told.
above the level of like if you have more than like, I don't know, if you're making more than, say, like $500,000 a year, then like you're a target at that point, you know?
Maybe. Yeah. Well, I'm not making anywhere close to that, so like,
I don't even want.
I have nowhere to go but up.
I just want like $40K a year. That's all I want. I'd be totally happy.
I would like to make. Well, I wouldn't like to personally make $500,000 a year. I would like, as Yig Studio, a group of content creators, you know, like with money being put in and out of, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like the profit of my endeavor to be that, not that it's just me being rich or whatever.
Yeah, like I'm at the point where, because I was living so meagerly for a long time, and I still am, but I'm making a little more money now, and like I'm still at like a sub middle class income, but like my expenses are so low that I've been saving money for a while now, and I don't know what to do with it all, and I'm starting to think like, yeah, this is like, it's time to reinvest this in like projects or something, whatever that means. Like, I don't know, pay people to make stuff that I can incorporate into something. I don't know, maybe just like pay comic artists to do more vapors, something for more of that. Like, because that money is not for anything else, because I have nothing really that I need to spend it on for myself personally. So it needs to do something, but I don't know what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just sitting in your bank account, and it's just like, this is like wasted potential.
And so I guess I'm saying I see that more as like, it's not like, it's money that I have made, but I feel like it should be, you know, like budget money for like an enterprise or I mean, not like a studio, because I'm just one guy, but you know what I mean.
You want your money to work for you,
reinvested
essentially,
in some form,
as long as you're sitting on it.
Fuel to power some kind of creative machine.
Indeed.
Based. All right, someone else talk. I'm done.
Well, I don't like money, but I sure need to get some.
Yeah, preach, my dude.
Patreon.com/give-and-take.
Oh, fuck. Ah, shit.
Damn.
Go to the Money Spenders podcast where you can learn all about stuff that I say.
We all have bonus podcasts now, right? Like all of us are doing one.
Yeah, I think so.
I should do a Noidacast. I should do a podcast.
You should do a Noida stream.
I should.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it would be boring, because
Just post your Noida streams on OnlyFans and have people tip you. That's what we've learned today.
I feel like if I was streaming a normal Noida run, I would be distracted by the chat and I would just die a lot, and it would be boring and annoying. But like, now that I'm on a good run,
someone with you to read the chat.
I was gonna say that was the thing we learned from IM Games. It's so much easier to do stream when one person's gaming and one person's talking.
That makes sense.
Every time I solo stream, it's a nightmare.
but now, on my current run, I think it would be boring because like so much of what I'm doing now is just like collecting wands and spells and like storing them somewhere and just kind of going through my collection like, okay, put this here so I have this, and just like arranging things and then like just doing trial and error where like I'll stand there and I'll like, okay, what if I put this in a wand and fire it, and then what if I put this in a wand and fire it? Okay, the fire rate changes.
Ben, how
like
long
this,
can a run potentially go for? Like you're saying this run like you're in one continual run?
Okay, well, a normal run where I just go to the boss, like, usually I would die within, like, half an hour or an hour, or maybe, like, a good run might take a few hours if I, like, made it all the way to the boss in one. This run where I'm, like, trying to, like, I've become, like, insanely powerful, and I have, like, the world is my oyster, and I can do anything. I mean, this lasted for, like, several days, because just doing a lot of, like, wand management, and a lot of, like, okay, like getting through the parallel world rock wall, I had to do a lot of like preparation for that. I had to find the ambrosia. I had to like separate it out. I had to put it in potions. I had to go like prepare my wand specifically for the task and go do it. So like a lot of it is like stuff that is not even that interesting to see. A lot of it is me just like managing inventory slots. And then, you know, it would have been cool. I guess it would have been cool to stream that because it's like, okay, I would be like preparing and talking about like how am I preparing to do this and then to go do it. But it's too late. I guess I could do that to like go to the moon or something, but I feel like boring through the parallel worlds wall was the big challenge, and I've already done it. So oh god, it's just like Bitcoin. I didn't get on the ground floor. I didn't start early enough. It's too late now. It's
never too late. Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, I feel this way. I feel like it's too late for a lot of things, and like I felt like it was too late for Bitcoin even like a year ago.
Onto everybody the idea that like rather than looking at it as like I put X amount of money into Bitcoin with the intention of removing all of that money when it goes up, think of it like just I can spend whatever I have earned. So like if you put in 500 and then it goes up to 700, spend the 200 and then don't spend any of the 500 you initially put in. Like
back on the crypto thing. There is one. Okay, I watched this channel called Clear Value Tax, where a very dignified Asian man who is an accountant explains to me how taxes work, and he made some videos recently recommending this app called KuCoin, which lets you do things like you can invest in crypto, but then you can like assign your crypto to be like automatically lent out to people and repaid to you with interest. And also you can create like a robot that will like automatically trade cryptos like as the price fluctuates to like generate profit for you. So I have been like trying to fuck with that a little bit as like because I didn't like the experience of investing in stuff, and it has failed at me every time. But like I've heard people say that like, okay, investing and holding is one thing and trading is another, and they're like, it's like a different way to make money with cryptocurrency. So I put like $100 into my KuCoin account just to see what it does. Actually, it's been in there for like almost a week now.
Another thing that's very helpful to my crypto trading has been that I have a lot of basic attention tokens, and I don't know if you guys know about that, but
I don't know what the fuck that is.
So, do you use Brave browser at all? By chance? Okay, well, Brave browser is like it's like Chrome, but it has built-in ad blockers and tracker blockers. And also, it has a crypto wallet that you can activate where you collect passively a type of crypto token called basic attention tokens, where if you allow it to like show you ads or even just going through web pages, like you slowly collect basic attention tokens, and then you can spend them on like creators and stuff who have who are signed up for the program. So for instance, if you had like the bat thing set up on your Brave, then you go to my YouTube channel, there will be a button you can click that allows you to just give me bat. I've made a couple $100 worth of bat this way that I reinvested into other cryptos. So that was a big starting point. Literally money that I just got from people deciding to make their donation via crypto instead of regular money.
I use Brave, but I've never understood that stuff.
Dude, Brave is getting so sick.
Look into it.
Bat's
Free
always
money.
been dope. Did you or Trixie? Did you hear
Yeah.
that Brave in their last update they just integrated IPFS?
I don't know what that is.
That is the Web3 thing. Remember that shit we were talking about back in 2018? They built IPFS into Brave, so now you can go to IPFS websites directly through Brave.
Oh, sick. Well, that makes that way easier because then we just promote the Brave browser more and can also make those websites.
So,
Okay.
like Web3, I'm still following like BAT or not BAT, IPFS and like
Peer
all that
tubes,
stuff.
all those kind
all
of
that
things.
shit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my finger
All
on
of
that
it's
pulse.
getting better. At some point, you and I were way too far ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
2
we
years
just
ago.
dived in too early. But like, you know,
literally 5 years ahead of
Maybe
any
like-
of it being relevant.
maybe like in 2 years it'll be like, yeah, we're finally there where we need to be to make that shift. Because like
Okay.
everyone, it's funny. You watch like the people like doing the IPFS presentation. They're all talking about what we were talking about in 2018 about how everything's too centralized. It's all bullshit.
I don't know if you've seen the huge push of after Donald Trump got kicked off Twitter, there was a gigantic wave of all kinds of people, just not even like right wingers, just funny accounts. Anybody funny on Twitter got like taken down. Huge mass migration to Mastodon, which is itself a decentralized thing. Or it's not even decentralized. It's that it's server based. Like
Yeah,
you have
it's like
your own.
the federated thing.
Yes, you federate different servers, similarly to PeerTube. We'll get into all this explanations later, I guess, but some other time. But yeah, like Dick Masterson immediately set up a Mastodon when all this happened that started popping off, and so that's all a fascinating world. And if that keeps taking off, I think it'll lead more and more people to
You gotta find the right
the federated net. That's what we've been calling it. It's the
Right.
federated internet.
You got to find the right federation because like Mastodon is like when I was on one of the networks for that was when I got banned for saying I was crippled because my leg was hurt. So
that was the thing. Like,
yeah,
what even did you do?
I said that was when I had my leg injury, which is still I guess technically there, but like when it was really bad and I was like, yeah, I'm like crippled, I can't walk. He's like, you can't say crippled, that's a slur, you're banned. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I like even in the context of I'm crippled.
Yeah, they were like, it doesn't matter. You can't use
say
that
that.
language. Well, to be fair, that was a warning. And then they listened to the Pro Crastinators podcast, and then I got banned.
It's funny you mentioned that because Dick had initially made a federation called his is called paypig.net. But then because of the fact that everyone just jumped on there and started saying the N-word over and over again, he made a second one called verified.af for just people who he could trust to not say the N-word all day on his on his Mastodon server.
Incredible.
I bought $100 worth of USDT on KuCoin. It has been auto lending itself for about 6 days. It has made 50 cents worth of interest, which does not sound that impressive, but that's in less than a week. And if I iterate that 52 times for a year, that's a profit of about 30%, which is a lot. The problem though is that like I would have to spend like 8% just to like put my money in there, which seems like a lot because they take fees out. So this is a nightmare. I hate it. I hate numbers. I hate math.
I'm
hate
just
money.
dumb. I just want to make cool art, get rich. That's about as complex as my mind can
That's
handle
the thing
financial
that's
transactions.
annoying me as well. Like, I don't want to be a money person in order to do all this, but it's so. I mean,
Because
I
in
think
order
I've
to
said
get
this
good
before
at
on
it, you have to just
PCP.
be like, well, I'm not an artist anymore. I'm a financial
That's
trader.
not
You're
true.
money.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it's
Here's
as
what
hard
fu-
as it seems.
Here's what fucks me up.
I don't
I'm an
wanna think
all or
at
nothing
all.
person. I'm an all or nothing person. I want to do what is optimal all of the time. So if keeping my
You shouldn't
money
be doing art then. Holy
in-
shit.
lol. If keeping my money as USDT in a KuCoin account, just for example, if that makes, 30% a year, then that's objectively better than keeping it in a bank that makes like less than 1% a year. So it seems like, okay, obviously I should do that. But like, if I put all of my money into USDT on KuCoin, it's like, what if that app just fails? Like, what if USDT becomes like, what if there's a problem with the tether and the currency crashes? Like, that's too risky. So it's like, I can't do it. I can't make the optimal play here.
It's because we're too poor.
It's too scary.
We don't have enough money to invest and make a substantial return.
Give us investment capital. Rich
even if I had a
Pro
$1 billion
podcast, I know you're real.
Even if I had $1 billion, if it was like, okay, well, KuCoin can make me 30% versus a bank can make me 1%, I would want to put all of it in there. But like, still, that would be risking it all, and that's stupid.
I mean, having it in the dollar is risking it all because that can crash any minute.
We all collectively need to start another.
That's the number one thing. I also like whenever people talk about their fear of like these other coins. I'm like, yeah, but the real money is super unstable. Like,
all right, this is what we do. Are you ready?
Crashes.
Here's how right now.
That's kind of true, but like, you know, at least with true, the dollar value fluctuates and it can change and it can crash, but like it has, you know,
the only thing that keeps the dollar from crashing is that the U.S. government just prints more of it. Like when we're in danger, they just print more of it. Like,
yes, I mean, I know, but
look,
but like it makes sense to have a little more faith that like the dollar isn't going anywhere.
This is what we have to do.
Right?
We need all the reward and none of the risk. So this is how it's going to go. All right, we start a second podcast collectively, like the Pro Investment Podcast. And the way it works is that if you go to the Patreon for that podcast, we take that money and we invest all of it. And then every week we talk about how the investments are going. So we just take our patrons' money. They pay us for the podcast. We take all the patron money, put it into investments. And then we just talk about those investments. We're just a middleman
that is just taking their investment. Like if it goes to the
moon,
no.
They're paying us to be the guinea pigs to figure out the strategy so they can take the rest of their money and invest it the way we are.
Yes, that's smart. That's smart investing, audience.
So it's like crowdsourced A/B testing on stocks.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know what's going to happen to their money in our hands until it happens.
Right.
And so they would need to put the same amount of money that they're giving us to the thing themselves.
Well, no, here's the thing. If they just give it to us to invest, then they don't have to worry about whether it goes up or down.
That's true.
Right? They know it's gone.
It's a learning experience.
They're insulated from that emotional pain.
Basically, like if you were going to invest by yourself, you'd be like, well, I need to put like X amount of money into something that I can afford to lose to see if anything happens. But instead of doing that, doing that learning experience by yourself, you pay a fraction of that to 4 idiots on the internet. And we'll do it for you instead. But then collectively, we'll have more money so we can make more legitimate investments and see how it plays out at scale better than any single one of us could do individually. And then collectively, we can gain a better understanding of the market and drive all of our audience to a brighter tomorrow.
Isn't this the Pro Crastinators hedge fund are we building?
You caught me. You caught me.
It would be. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because, like, if people are pledging to something like that, then like they have a little bit of stake in like knowing like how are these investments going to do.
Unironically,
and then they tune in and hear us say like, okay, well, the part we put in Bitcoin, you know, it went up. The stuff we put in Ethereum, it stayed stable. The stuff we put in GameStop, it went down. So we're going to move it here. We're going to move this. We're going to change the percentages here and here. Whatever.
I'm just thinking about how if my $100 in Bitcoin is now worth $500, then if I had put the 30 grand of Radcon in there, that would now be worth
I think about
150 grand.
I think about even my Dogecoin.
Patrons,
I put all my money into Dogecoin. I would
just
have
imagine how much we can make to do more Radcons with if you just so I think the best plan of action would be to get this investment capital, put it into something that grows, because that's, you know, we can do that. You can just plan that. You can just make that happen. Get all that extra money. Buy a weed store and have that as the ground base, the operation that people that anybody who just needs a job that we know can work at, and then we get
literal growth market where we grow the weed.
Yes, and then we also get free weed. It'll be perfect.
Dude, what if we just had our own country, the Pro Country?
That's what I'm trying to. That's where I'm heading with my life. That's what
PCPHQ is too small thinking. We need to go bigger.
Yeah.
We'll just have all of the things that you can possibly have under the brand PCP.
Ooh, there you go.
We'll have our own PCP broadband internet.
God.
No data caps.
We can bully Comcast. We'll invest so well that we'll become more powerful than Comcast. We'll have nukes. and then
Yes.
we'll declare a war on Comcast headquarters.
I'm nuclear.
How far away do you think we are until like warfare is waged between corporations and not countries?
It already is.
But like openly.
There'll never be
Yeah.
open war again.
Kind of already is.
There's open war right now
No. Where?
in like Afghanistan.
With who? Between who?
We're still in Afghanistan.
Are we fighting though? Are we like shooting stuff?
Yes.
What's
I
going
don't
on
know
over
what we're
there?
doing, but we're occupying it. And
I'm
I
sure
assume people are dying.
Joe's
We're
getting those
fluffing.
drones ready to go right now. He's like picking
Dude,
up where his bro left.
Fortnite
let
is
off.
not a real. Fortnite is real. Like you zap into Fortnite and you're actually controlling a robot that's in Afghanistan and it's copying your movements exactly. And everything you do in Fortnite is in
Victory
real life
Royale,
happening.
just bodies strewn everywhere in the Middle East.
I just think that the reality is we are already living in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It's like already real. Like it's not the future. It's
Or
just
more,
now.
or more like
but,
Metal Gear Solid
only
2
people in
at
the
this
know
point.
know.
You know, like the Patriots
Where's
exist
my
in Israel.
I think we're past
Sword.
that. I feel like Metal Gear Solid 2 was in the 2000s. Like we're already in the next stage. Just most people haven't perceived.
Well, I think
it,
we're
you
probably
know what I
close to
mean?
Metal Gear Solid 4 than Rising.
Okay,
We don't have
that's fair.
cyborg bodies yet, unfortunately.
Does that mean Death Stranding is in our future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death Stranding's Metal Gear Solid 6. They never told you that.
Those don't actually take place in the same universe.
I
right?
highly doubt. I don't
It's
think
not. It's not the
legally they
universe thing.
can.
It's the Kojima effect. If he's so good at predicting what's going to happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
They all do take place in the same world, the real world
Yeah.
that we are in.
They all
Yeah,
actually
okay.
happened. It's all a documentary
Even-
from the future.
Even the ones that contradict each other. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the world contradicts itself all the time. We've learned a lot today.
I learned how to make the big bucks.
Well,
Do we want to go to voicemails?
I guess it had to happen
Okay.
eventually.
Had to happen eventually.
Okay, I've been gone
can-
for a while. Have the voicemails gotten any better? Has there been a
I-
golden age of voicemails in
The,
There
2021?
was-
the
there
great
was-
thing
there
about
was
the
an-
voicemails now is that they're all addressed to Ben because he's the only
lot
person
of them
anyone
are.
expects to be there.
Oh, thank
That's somewhat true.
Well, and me,
I will
but Ben
yeah.
is usually funnier to talk about.
Okay, last week there was a bit of a kerfuffle because of a certain individual named Tommy J was sending too many voicemails, and then they sent one that really pushed me over the edge, and I got really upset. And I want to acknowledge that Tommy J probably had not heard all of the because the delay between recording and uploading. He had not heard the second episode in which I said like, okay, funny joke, but enough's enough. No, it's not funny anymore. So, it wasn't entirely their fault that I got so upset. However, I will be honoring my promise to never play a Tommy G email again. That much has not changed. But I want to say like a funny misunderstanding. But fuck you anyway. Are you guys on SpeakPipe?
No.
I'll be there in one.
Can you pull up Speak? I guess I could just upload them to Discord if you want me to. That's
Sure.
just as...
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Sure.
Where's the link
I'm-
to the?
I will just put. I'll just put the fucking things. Where did I save them to? Here we go. All right. The first one is called. Where did I put it? First one is called. It is number 2718. Here we go. First one is called No Nate. ... Okay.
All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Another episode without Nate, huh? You know what that means. No Nate, no nut.
True. I should say, so last episode we talked about wanting to do some funny rebranding for the new era, and I was gonna make a new banner, and I will have made a new banner for the channel by the time
Oh my
this
God.
episode goes up, but
Rip group
it will
piss.
all. But it will already be out of date because I was gonna make a joke banner about it was gonna be me and Gib pointing backwards at the gravestone with the PCP logo on it and laughing about it. But it's already an obsolete joke because now there's 4 people on this episode. So I'm still gonna do that. I'm still going to do that. Even though it's already pointless.
Sick. I'm glad I ruined that for
But
you.
we said we will, like, if anyone wants to like submit anything or like send us anything to like use this, like we still might do that. Help us brand our channel. Okay, the next one is called A Due Apology, and there it is. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm sorry about the lost voicemail. I was only being a Natehead, ironically.
Yeah. Everyone's a Natehead, ironically, at first, but then
And always.
Then the disease sets in.
That's how it starts. Okay, the next one is just called Jnes, Jnes. So 3, 2, 1, go.
When best guy ever hears a voicemail from Tommy J.
Yes, I understand this one.
Go on. Wait,
Oh,
that's it?
there's nothing to it. Okay.
Well,
Well, why would Nate respond that way?
Wait, what was that music from? I know
Kill
it.
Bill.
Okay, so is the idea that if Nate heard a voicemail from Tommy J, that he would hunt him down and kill him? Is that the implication?
He would have a thirst for revenge, boiling in his blood, reddening his vision.
I will do that. I will do that personally. Next one is called...
Easy to confuse the two.
That would make me really mad. If next one is called Cody. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ben, it's not racist. I swear to God, it's not racist. See.
What does that mean?
What?
He's implying that you're.
I guess he's implying that you said something that you were like, it's not racist about.
There was a thing a couple episodes ago. I think about the NE word, the haha word. You know, and Ben.
I'm right about that. I'm right about that.
Yeah, I don't really care, but
man, it's so nice being away for so long.
I'll die on this hill, and
context.
every attempt to argue against me is in complete bad faith. I haven't heard a good one yet, including yours. Fuck you.
That wasn't even an argument. That was just a guy making noises. Oh, you meant
fuck you. You're arguing in bad faith. Okay, I'm sorry. Next one is called The Human Guitar, The Human Guitar, The Human Guitar, The Human Guitar.
Oh, no.
3, 2, 1, go.
It is me, the human guitar. I am a guitar.
Yeah, I dig it.
Whoa.
Yo, this is epic.
Why is this funny?
Don't encourage this.
Is this guy a part of the League of Nate Fuckers?
Oh, Nate. I hope you're well, Nate. I'm going to fuck
He is. I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, fuck you. I'm going to fuck you.
All right. Well. Oh god, it just keeps going. Ugh. Okay.
God, I'm
Funny noise make me go laugh.
I'm so glad.
Tom and Trixie, you are out of the loop.
Yes.
But last episode, we were introduced to the League of Nate Fuckers. All of the worst and most heinous PCP villains, them snakes and Clusterpunk Kitchen, et al. Were joined with some
Everybody's
freaks like
ever
the man
used
with
a crazy
1,000
voice
lungs.
modulator is in the League of Nate Fuckers, and even
they're
some new
all-
ones.
They're all gonna fuck Nate.
If I
They're all gonna fuck
was Nate, I would be building a moat around my house.
If I was Nate, I would invest in Bitcoin now because fiat currency isn't going to protect him from the League of Nate Fuckers. Okay, the next one is also called Human Guitar, Human Guitar, Human Guitar, Human
Jesus
Guitar.
Christ.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben. Guillotine. 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 Ben gets the guillotine. I'm sorry, Eleazar. You deserve better. You deserve better than the PCP. I can hear myself. I'm being speech jammed. I am being speech jammed at this moment. It is painful.
Okay.
I like the human guitar.
I'm gonna dig a trench under my house and live in it.
It's like a new Minecraft mob with a scary aura to it. It makes this sound.
The next voicemail is called Veggie Pilled. 3, 2, 1, go.
Aren't they supposed to be God's chosen people?
That's what the Bible says.
Oh, I bet they always followed God's directions.
Ho, ho, ho! You'd think so, wouldn't
Huh?
Is that from VeggieTales?
Yeah, it sounds like it, but I don't know what the point was.
Did
It's
you?
a funny clip, I guess.
Did I just hallucinate that time that the VeggieTales guys said that the vegetables in VeggieTales don't have souls?
No, we learned that during a Heckles for Shekels. Somebody was in the
Right.
call with us talking about it.
Right.
If they don't have souls, why do they care about God?
It's literally like they like feel they like want to save those who can be saved, even though they can't, because they're like not God's chosen
like,
and they don't have souls.
Vegetables
they
do not
don't
go to heaven.
Yeah.
What kind of a God would make his most ardent
So they
followers
put on this
unable to
show.
be saved?
So they put on this 3D vegetable puppet show as themselves, like acting out roles. It's like, boy, I wish I had a soul so I could watch
Is that like
this
a
as a kid
metaphor
and
for the
become a
people who
Christian.
like did VeggieTales? They've just done so much evil in the past that they feel they are unable to be saved, and so
Definitely.
No, they're just literally vegetables. They're in a vegetative state,
this is too
and somehow can make a show
this is too
as
much
well.
for me to handle right now.
The next voicemail is called The Truth About Mage. 3, 2, 1, go.
Mage is just purple Nepeta. Discuss.
Yeah.
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 I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Nepeta is a Homestuck troll.
God.
Nepeta is
Boo.
green mage. Just think of green mage and
Just
you'll
green
understand
mage.
Nepeta.
Okay,
Just green mage.
sure.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Next one is called Sonic-Ku 102. When, Ben? When is it happen? There it is. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sonichu 102 when, Ben? When does it happen?
Yeah. I've already said I gotta do another thing before I release it. But I will
How many
soon.
layers deep are you in distractions?
Sounds like a lot. He put 100 hours into a video game before finishing Sonic 2, so...
Okay, to be fair, most of that was spread out for a while. Not anymore, though.
That doesn't make it any better.
That's been about the last... Noida has been most of, like, the last 2 days of my life.
Think of what you could have done with those 100 hours.
I will exhaust it. Oh, fuck you. What could you have done with the time that you spent? I don't know. What's something you like that's stupid?
I mean, to be fair, I fucking berate myself every evening before I go to bed,
Ultraman.
thinking about how instead of watching Ultraman, I could have made the next Ultraman. I think about that all the
Exactly.
time. So
Exactly.
I'm only holding you up to my standards, which I also fail to meet. The weakness of the flesh. We must embrace.
You gotta
the
get
cold
into a weekend.
soul
You
of
gotta get into
silicon.
a week. You gotta get into a weekend situation where you're allowing weekends to be video games constantly nonstop, and then you do things on the week.
I can't let the man.
mentally.
I can't let the man
I don't have
define
enough
my
time.
life like that.
I when I try and schedule things out and keep the weekend free, it's like no, too many things will slip if I don't do things on the weekend, and then I collapse under my own.
Well, I
bloated
mean,
schedule.
the weekend is just 2 days. You could flip them. I'm just saying, like, seriously delineate the time between I can fuck around to I am supposed to be doing stuff, and stuff will get done more often.
Yeah, I know you're right. I know that you're right. But I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I'm in the same boat. I'm just too shitty of a person.
With regards to, before anybody asks on the next voicemail, the Brony lecture, I'm either going to have to record a whole fucking bunch of extra shell stuff to put around it, or just redo it. So that's why I haven't finished it.
For what purpose?
Like
addendums to it, because you were wrong about
addendums, things, not so much because I was wrong, but that I just don't like the tone of the lecture at all. Like, it was the sentimentality of it is like moment. Very over it, very like I was trying to get the last anger I had out about the whole thing or something like that, you know?
Why don't you just why don't you just like maybe put an addendum at the beginning?
That's what I mean. Like a frame, there would be a reframing, and I'd have to add in a bunch of shit too, because I just missed a lot of stuff that I would have wanted. But like, I don't know. I don't think it's that good.
You have to though.
Yes, because it's not. First of all, I just don't even like it. Like, I would rather redo it, but like, if it could be salvaged, I'd just build a framework around it. Like,
okay, why not? Why not just? I mean, yeah, put an addendum if you're like, I don't agree with everything I said in this one. I don't like the tone of it. I don't know. Just release it as like a historical artifact. I mean, you don't have to stand by everything that you said.
I mean, granted, remember, I am about to just literally take everything I've made off the internet. So, like, this, to me, not much sense in putting that thing up when everything else is gone, you know?
I want it, though.
I mean, we were there.
I can send it to you. The state it's in. It has about 15 minutes of highly edited part at the beginning and then the rest, so.
I mean, okay, it just kind of sounds like you've fallen down a hole with it, where if things continue as they go, they will simply never come to light.
I think it's sort of like the way I had initially made it. I mean, even just when I got home with it, like, I was editing the fuck out of it to make it like very different feeling from how it like, and to add lots of visual reference into the stuff I'm talking about. But, like, it's kind of disorganized and, like, I don't know. I guess I just wouldn't explain it the same way. Like, just in general, the approach I took, I think that it didn't come out how I thought it would, like, when I created the board. You know what I mean?
Sure, yes. I understand, but here's what I think. I think that, yeah, maybe, I mean, you wouldn't explain it the same way now, but at the time, that was how you would explain it. That's how you did explain it. And I don't know, if you wanted to re-explain it, you could just make you could redo it if you wanted to, and that wouldn't preclude like putting out the original. Even if it's like disclaimed with like this isn't how I feel about certain things anymore.
Right.
I just kind of like being able to see it again.
I'm trying to encourage you. I'm trying to encourage you to release it in some form. And I mean, you don't have to, but
you did that great big weed thing right at the beginning. It was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, you might not like it for whatever reason, and that's fine. But like, I remember enjoying it at the time. I feel like people would enjoy it for what it is, even if you've changed your mind on it at the time. I'm sure.
I do agree. I think people would enjoy it for what it is. I don't enjoy it for what it is, though. Like, I look at it as, like, I can watch. I guess I feel that way about a lot of my videos. Like, yeah, they're good, but they're just like boring or wrong or like I don't care. So that's why, like, you know.
But so what, though? But so what? You don't have to stand by any of it.
That's true. I mean, that's why everybody. I mean, other people can re-upload all my shit. I don't
Dude,
care.
what if we just put it on the PCP channel?
Well, all my videos, yeah.
No, not all. Well, there's a lot of videos, but like the lecture, because it's a PCP
I kind of expected
That's
it
where
would
it
go
would
up on
have
the PC.
been.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Probably. I don't know. I might still finish it, but I would much rather just redo it and do it better. Look at it as a trial run.
That's such a trap, though. That's such a trap. That's like, it is what it is, and it can't be redone. It happened in a very specific context that can never be replicated.
Sure. I mean, it wouldn't be the same thing. I would just do a different Brony lecture. Like, that one's you just never get to see it. Lost media, you know?
But it's got all of us there. It's got Jesse and Munchie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think those two are going to come to, like, well, actually, maybe. They might come to a Radcon 5, I don't know. Munchie more likely than Jesse. But that was, like, a big Brony moment. That was a bro-hoof moment. I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I can salvage parts of it, like, to sprinkle throughout or something.
What? I'm so...
Like, sprinkle throughout a longer, like, second lecture, you know what I mean? Like, if I did another one, I could incorporate parts of the original into it.
I don't see... Do you even want to do a second one?
I'd be interested. I mean, like, I think I would do a better job.
I think I feel like a second one is like, I mean, if you wanted to, but like, wouldn't it make more sense as like a second like rebuttal to the first one? Like, wouldn't having the first one exist make a second one make sense? And without that, like without the first one, the second one is like, what is it even about? I don't know.
It's the same thing except better done.
I don't think it would be better done. You might like it more, but I don't think a redo would be better. It would just be a different thing.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Next voicemail is called where did I put it? It is called Deja Vu, but it's relevant this time, and I already put it in the chat. 3, 2, 1, go.
Gib, you were talking in previous episodes about how Picross is really cool, except it sucks sometimes at the very end when the board just happens to not be solvable and you're forced to take a guess. I've had that same experience with Minesweeper, and honestly, like, I know I've called in like a meme way about this before, but from the way that you talk about Picross, I feel like you would also really enjoy Minesweeper. And Minesweeper.online has a no guessing mode where the board is guaranteed to be solvable every time. So, I recommend that you go try checking that out, because I think you would really enjoy it. That's minesweeper.online. It also has, like, quests and stuff where it has, like, different goals of, like, try to solve it efficiently with, like, as few clicks as possible, or try to solve it quickly, like, in the quickest time possible, stuff like that, if you want to, like, spice it up. So, I think go
I've played Minesweeper before. The only thing I don't like about it, as opposed to Picross, is the default game mode involves a timer to determine your score, and I hate being pressured for time. I would rather, like, sit at a puzzle for, like, 3 hours trying to figure it out than, like, fail at rushing it. And, like I would sit at a Picross, like a 25 by 25. I've gotten bigger with the Picross puzzles, because I managed to do them correctly. And I was so fucking psyched when I did, and I just keep on the Picross something site. You can just go to like 30 by 30, and I'm working my way up to that. And it's so satisfying when I figure out one of those huge things with no mistakes. Minesweeper, I guess I could try it, as long as the timer just annoys me, because it's like I don't want to feel like I'm rushing. I want to take as long as is necessary.
Isn't this the same guy? Didn't this guy recommend us some other, like, play some game on a website,
this
like chess or something?
Familiar.
Well, I think specifically he was recommending, like, a site that lets you play Minesweeper in certain modes that, like, would help with the issues you had with it. That's what it seemed like he was explaining.
Was this guy, like, doing more, like, Minesweeper apologia before? This feels like it's revisiting a previous voicemail.
That's what I mean. I think he was saying, "Oh, this website allows you to play in modes that would get rid of the things that you had as a problem with Minesweeper."
I died in 2. I died in 2. Fuck this. Sucks.
Well, what?
I'm on my second round right now already. God damn it! Well,
I'm not indulging in this. I'm not gonna humor this. Next voicemail is called "More Like Mr. Poop."
Didn't you post 2?
Huh?
There's one that's 48 seconds that we didn't play.
Oh God, you're right. Yeah, okay, play the last one, not this one I just posted. Yeah, the 48 seconds one. It's called "More Like Mr. Poop." 3, 2, 1, go.
Also, the problem with the ending of Mr. Boop is just that the themes aren't interesting. Like, oh, it was building up to how escapist fantasies are bad the whole time. What? You don't need to explain to me that thinking you're married to Betty Boop is unhealthy. That was the joke from the very beginning. The appeal of early Mr. Boop was the absurdity of its presentation, the absurdity of the universe, the way that lore is getting dynamically generated as Alec improvises new ways to insert different characters. Like, that's what was so interesting about it. And once it becomes this meta thing that's all in the guy's head, it just totally deflates all of that intrigue. Doing something like that feels like the obvious route to ending a story that involves a bunch of different characters from different franchises like this. And it ends up not saying anything. The only appeal is that it is meta. And so it just ends up being unsatisfying for those reasons.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I couldn't articulate it, but yeah, it's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, I think, yeah, the real intrigue was like the weird jokes and like the non sequiturs and like the twists and turns and like the new characters that would be introduced. Like that was what made it funny and that was what made it interesting. So really, like, there is no like ending you could do with that would like not fail to have that element to it, I guess. But yeah, like the last arc, the fourth chapter doesn't really have that because it's building to the climax, which is really not what made the comic funny. So yeah, I totally agree. It's got good voicemail. Next one is called Kringus Bingus 6. Yes. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, it's Kringus Bingus back
Yay,
again.
it's Kringus
Now
Bingus,
normally
he's
I
back.
record these in my car when I'm driving around, but this week I can't do that. And that ties into my cring for this week because my car isn't working. It's too cold or something, and the battery isn't charged, I guess. I don't know, but I cringed about that real hard when I had to go somewhere, and then my car wouldn't work.
Yeah, agreed.
And what I binged, silly. I cring at things and I bing things. The thing I binged, I've been watching so much Adventure Time. I've been watching I watched 4.5 seasons of Adventure Time in like a week. It's pretty crazy. Like a week.
It's almost as much time as I've spent playing Noida.
It's been pretty good. It's a really good show. I really like it.
Yeah.
Also, if I can be serious for a moment, Kringus Bingus has kind of been in a rough patch in their life.
Not crazy.
And I would just like to say thank you for having me on the show and, having such a positive reaction to me, Kringus Bingus. And it's really brought a lot of light in my life.
We love you, Kringus
Bingus. It helps me that I can help you. So yeah, Kringus Bingus out. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. Kringus Bingus loves you.
Kringus
Bingus. We love you, Kringus Bingus.
We love you too, Kringus Bingus.
This is my first Kringus Bingus exposure, but I am so far impressed.
Kringus Bingus is an institution.
I very much prefer cring to cringe. Mm-hmm. Honestly, cringe is cring.
Fuck. Oh God. Fuck yeah. Another masterpiece voicemail. Another joyful visit from Kringus Bingus. We've been blessed. Next one is called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Bwurtquop. BWRTCUOOP number 1. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Eleazar, you're my boy. I need you to do me a small favor. What I need is a jingle. Because it's Ben's Ben's weekly reminder to catch up on One Piece.
God
Ladies
damn
and
it.
gentlemen, Ben, please catch up on One Piece. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. I should really do that. Gabe, how's One Piece going?
How far back are you? What's going on?
I am at I'm like kind of near the beginning of Wano. I think like I just saw, spoilers by the way, I just saw Kaido's dragon form. For,
Oh,
like, the
you're
first time.
really early. Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot that's happening. At the moment, it's big fight moment right now. There's a lot of big fights going on. A lot of big people involved. It's very epic.
There's a lot of big people in One Piece.
They are. They're huge.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
It's big
Oh, I see.
in its scale, size, and girth.
It's an acronym, BWRTCUOOP, Ben's weekly reminder to catch up on One Piece. Got it. Well, if I catch up on One Piece, then this segment will end, so no need for a jingle. Next voicemail is called 9-Year-Old Anime Huge Titties Episode 2. Nice.
I don't remember in episode 1.
I remember. It was that one anime. That one infamous one. I remember. 3, 2, 1, go.
I went ahead and researched the show with the big tit 9-year-old girl. It's called Hinako Note, and the girl's name is Ruriko. And I was not hallucinating when she gets introduced in like episode 4, and she gets knocked over and sprawls out on the floor.
We know it's
and
not a hallucination.
The
We
animators
talked
like
about
took
it.
loving detail and accentuating the form of her like well-developed
We showed
9-year-old
screenshots.
body.
Yes, I
So
know.
I think these guys are like the what is it called? Pedophile virtuosos or whatever. So
This is
these
a
guys are the
stupid
heroes we all
voicemail
need.
because we literally
and
said all
there's
the
not
same
enough
stuff.
porn of her on the internet.
Dumb. Useless.
I think he's saying that he remembers it and he found an image, but now he's
Of
gone and
cour-
rewatched it and he's just saying it again.
Great. Okay, next voicemail is called No Nut Nate based. 3, there it is. 3, 2, 1, go.
You ever go back and listen to old PCP episodes and
No.
hear Nate go on weird Ayn Rand rants
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
just say a whole bunch of like cringy libertarian
Why are we bringing this
bullshit
up in the year of our Lord
while
2021?
simultaneously dreaming of living in post-scarcity space communism like Star Trek? Oh man, what a fucking dork.
Yeah.
Remember when he liked Jordan Peterson and shit? And like still thinks that like Sam Harris is the smartest guy ever? Oh man. What a fucking dork.
No, this pisses
What
me
a
off. Fuck you,
fucking
dude. You know why? Because
dork.
like we don't have any context in what you were doing fucking 5 years ago. Probably being like 15 and I don't know, something dumb.
Imagine listening to a PCP episode more than once. Cringe.
I just think it's real fucked to come at how somebody was 5 years ago and be like, oh, remember when you fucking sucked and you're not, you knowing he's not going to be on the episode to defend himself.
I mean, he could be on anytime he wanted.
Right, but this guy knows he's not on the episode to defend himself.
No, I agree. I'm totally with this guy. In hindsight, weird utilitarianism is really just like Randian objectivism.
That's what it
and, like,
always was. It wasn't. There's no hindsight needed. He said so at the time.
Did he actually? I don't even remember. I don't remember that.
He was like, "Yeah, I'm a Randian objectivist." That was his stance at the time.
Lol, cringe.
I
Okay,
didn't even
well-
know what that was at the time, so I didn't. I feel like a lot of people liked Jordan Peterson for a while there.
I didn't really know about him until the backlash against him started. So,
I heard about him as like clean your rooms. Like yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That is good advice still.
Sure.
But all the other stuff is pretty cring.
I knew a guy in Georgia who told me that like he wanted to get his life back on track, and he was like gonna apply for a job, and he was like he'd read this book by Jordan Peterson that had like really like opened his eyes or whatever. And at the time, I didn't know anything about JP, so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I would have had more to say about it if I knew more, but I didn't. So Probably good that this guy didn't like tell me that, and I didn't go, don't you know that Jordan Peterson hates trans people? And it probably wouldn't have been a productive conversation to have.
Right.
So I was spared by
I
my
think
own
the most like
ignorance.
comforting thing that I've since learned since like initially being exposed to Jordan Peterson is that at the time I remember a lot of people were watching his content, and I thought like on the surface level his stuff was like interesting enough, but like my thing was like a lot of it just sounded like babble, like just like big words strewn together in an attempt to sound smart.
Yeah.
But then everyone
and then
in the
you
comments,
read his book and you see the diagrams and you're like, oh yeah, this guy's nuts.
well then like
This guy's off his fucking rocker.
because I'm like perpetually self-deprecating, I was like, because like everyone in the comments like, this guy's so profound. I'm like, am I just like too retarded to understand what's going on here? It just sounds stupid. And then later on a bunch of people are like, actually everything he says is just kind of sounds stupid. And I'm like, oh, okay. I feel a little better about myself that like I wasn't the only one who listened to this and thought like it was just like techno babble.
I never looked into any
I
of
read
his
12
videos.
Rules for Life. It wasn't a bad book. It was just like so overly verbose, and I was like, why is this so overly verbose? I must be dumb. And then I realized, no, it's just overly verbose. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I think the first time I saw Jordan Peterson was on the H3 podcast, and he took a big weed. It took a huge vape. Like Ethan had this like vape the size of a fridge, and he took a big vape. And he was like, yeah, oh, that's pretty good. And I was like, who's this old man who's like a professor on H3? That's kind of interesting.
Was it weed vape?
No, it was just vape because he was doing
Okay.
vape niche, all that stuff.
Well,
Ben, every time you vape, you're just invoking Jordan Peterson.
I don't vape anymore. They don't sell pods anymore. I cannot find them on the internet.
They're just
I
like,
don't know what.
How is that still a thing that's happening in Massachusetts?
I don't think it's not just Massachusetts. I can't find them anywhere online.
Really?
I don't know if I'm. I've looked around and I cannot find a online retailer that still like
It's easier
has
to get
stock
weed
that is not
vapes than
sold
it
out.
is to get nicotine vapes now. That seems not correct.
I don't know. It's like they just
actually,
stopped being manufactured.
it actually seems correct, just in a way that you can't believe our world would actually.
Oh yeah,
be.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
In terms of
I
like how
don't-
the world works, not how the world ought to be.
I don't know if they're still like banned to be sold in Massachusetts. I would imagine yes, probably.
That's fucking nuts.
The flavored
dude.
ones anyway, but I don't know.
But cigarettes, still.
But
still
nobody
in
has
every
them.
corner
But
store.
But I like whether they're allowed or not. Nobody has them regardless, so it's a moot point.
Oh my god!
I'm genuinely baffled that like I can't find them online. That's so strange to me.
I guess what we've learned is you just need to spend $2,000, go to the Philippines. You can get like really cheap.
You can buy individual cigarettes for like 5 pesetas there. So which is
How
like
much is a peseta?
So little of a fraction of a cent that I couldn't compare it to an American piece of currency.
Cool. How many Bitcoin for a whole pack? Okay, next one is Meow Mix 64. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey y'all. I've just finished watching some creepy web series like Illusion Lock and Diminish. Is there a creepy or haunted web series that you've enjoyed as well? Thank you.
Wait, what was the series?
Diminished, and what was the first one?
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I can't tell what the first one is. It's not really creepy. I've always championed Tales from the Gas Station. It's like a not ironic creepypasta, but like kind of like a meta creepypasta sort of thing, and it's really good. Highly recommend it. Really fun, really good.
Wait, what was the genre of stuff? Like just creepy anything?
Creepy or haunted?
He said web
haunted.
series, but I'm assuming it could be anything.
Dude, I remember.
I honestly don't really know what that means. If that's like a specific genre.
I
Like
remember
ARG
being. This is like my first poop the pants moment online.
My first
Everyone
poop.
remembers their first poop the pants moment.
It was this this Newgrounds game series called Ghost Motel, and there's episode 1, which is it ends like it's a point and click series, and you're just pointing and clicking and going around, and it's Newgrounds, so it's Flash and it's like low fidelity, but it's really, I don't know how to describe it. It's gory and bloody, like as you would expect Newgrounds things to be, but it's also quite creepy and unnerving. There's a bit of like possession of a girl, and you just can't do anything. You just have to watch this girl get possessed, and it's part of a scene. And you feel like you have control, but you can't. And then he's like, "Man, I couldn't do anything." It's like a scene happens after that. It's like, "Oh my god, I really fucked up."
I don't really like creepy stuff. I don't like spooky stuff, scary stuff.
I tend to not either, which is why I give Tales from the Gas Station such a glowing recommendation.
Okay. Oh god, what was it? This is so embarrassing. I heeded. I've never done this before. I heeded a trigger warning. Can you believe it?
Oh my god!
Was it about brains?
No, it was just about jump scares. There was. I think it was a night. Not Night Mind. Masterclass, Nightmare Masterclass. I think it was a video, or it was some channel that I follow. They put out a video that was about something, and they said, like, trigger warning, I don't do any jump scares in the video, but I will be showing the media in question, and it will contain some jump scares. And I was like, well, I know that's gonna fuck me up. I hate that shit, so I'm not gonna watch the video. Thanks for the trigger warning, buddy.
Yeah,
and I didn't watch it.
I guess I should give a trigger warning for the Ghost Motel, because the first episode obviously feels like they didn't intend it to continue, so it just ends in a jump scare.
Yeah.
But every other thing after that is much more, like, serious and cool.
I think I could probably live the rest of my life without being jump scared, and if I could, I would. I would say yes, thank you. Yeah. I don't like to be scared because it's scary.
You mean you don't like to be startled?
Yes, true. Well, I don't like to be scared. I don't like to be existentially frightened either, to be honest. But I feel less strongly about that.
Like if a trumpet goes brr in the night and I'm not expecting a trumpet, then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna pee my pants.
If I've said I didn't really like Midsommar. And that didn't have any jump scares in it, but it was it was scary, right? It was unsettling, it was creepy. I don't like it. I don't like that I watched it, because sometimes I think about it and it makes me sad, right? And did that improve my life at all? No. So I don't like that either.
I agree with you. That's why I haven't watched that movie, and a lot of ones like it. It's just when people tell me, "Oh, this movie's like a nightmare, and it makes you fucking feel haunted for the rest of your life," I'm like, "Thanks, I'll never watch that."
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
You can get desensitized to those things, but I don't want to do enough of it to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my cup of tea.
Next voicemail is called. It's Margar. 3, 2, 1, go.
Margar here. Tommy J, if you want to be a legitimate voicemail member like me and so many other esteemed members, just be concise. If you have a question, ask it. If you have a bit, do it. I am a successful voice caller many weeks in a row. Don't send more than 2 voicemails a week, or you're just going to be considered epic cringe, bro.
True.
Margar, the esteemed Margar.
If anyone if this guy could write a self-help book about how to succeed at voicemailing the PCP.
12 rules for voicemails.
12 rules for voicemails. Yes, exactly. Margar knows. He's the expert. I skipped a voicemail. Sorry, Eleazar, you might have to flip those. Okay, the next one is actually the previous one, but there it is. This one is called Facial Hair Voicemail. 3, 2, 1, go.
Facial hair is cool. Digibro had a really cool beard, and I'm going to miss it a lot.
Lol.
Tom Oliver had a cool goatee at one point. I have that same goatee right now, where it's not on the sides, and I just have a mustache and a chin bit. Ben Saint, I think you had a beard at one point.
It's true. You can find evidence.
It was glorious.
Trans people, tell me about what you plan to do with your facial hair. You going to laser it off? Talk about facial hair.
I want to say I've been feeling pretty good lately because I have actually managed to kind of grow the beard back. And infamously, sometimes I have to shave the beard because I pick at my beard and I'll pick too much of it out and it looks fucked up and I have to trim it. I have managed to stave that off long enough that I actually kind of have a beard again. It's not long, but
you look
it's
good
there.
with a beard. I'm just gonna say
I do look good with it. I think I look way, way better with the beard. It makes me
Agreed.
really angry that I have this tick that like ruins my beard.
Yeah,
which is like
it's so
yeah.
crazy to imagine that you could pick your beard so hard
All-
to pull the hairs out.
All three of you have god tier facial hair, and it makes me so mad because that's what
Well,
I
not
want,
anymore.
and I can't grow it. I know,
Just
like,
me.
like if you,
I'm
just me.
I'm shocked that anybody thinks that Digibro had great facial hair because, in my opinion, Digibro had a fucking Arab
I am like
pubes
coping
on it.
so hard with the fact that I can't grow a normal beard that if I ever did grow a facial hair, I would go full Gandalf to compensate at this point.
Well, Digi never like had the Digi beard was very like scraggly. I think it could have been like trimmed. I think it could have been trimmed into a very like it could have been very, very much yes meme guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, the blonde guy that says yes and he has a nice beard.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about.
You could have done something like that with it. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm really trying.
What, the tight curls?
I'm really trying to keep this streak going of not ruining my beard this time, because every time I shave it, I'm like, ugh, I look so much worse, and it makes me sad. And it's actually taken me a long time. It's been several weeks. It feels like it's been forever since I had a beard, even though I shaved it like not that long ago. I can't lose it again. I can't lose it again. It boosts my self-esteem tremendously to have it. And the inverse is also true. So I have to protect it from myself.
If anybody, like, instead of like lasering your beard off, can you just like take your stat points and beard and give them to me? I will gladly accept them.
If I could, I definitely would.
I got like some. At one point, I got some like what is it called? Like the fucking like beard oil you can get to try and like grow your beard out more, and it didn't work, and it was devastating. I
give
such
the
a
oil.
nightmare. Yeah, like the
Isn't
oil.
the oil just for like styling it?
No, there's like some sort of like I forget what it's called. It was some sort of like
What's
beard...
the stuff that like makes you grow your fingernails? Not melanin.
What? I have no idea.
Biotin. They say that like if you use biotin, it like makes you increases like hair growth and nail growth.
That is the case. Yeah, I've been taking it as well.
But that's what they say anyway. I think I took it for a while and I didn't see much difference, but I wasn't taking it for that long.
Well, maybe I just need to inject biotin directly into my face.
I
still have the goatee
fully-
though. My facial hair hasn't
once-
changed in like a decade, and I have no plans on changing it anytime soon.
Laser hair removal is very expensive, but a Twitter user called 120 pounds of lean cave beef said that after doing it for 2 years, they don't have any beard shadow whatsoever anymore. So as far as I'm concerned, it's the only option.
Now we know what the Bitcoin's
as soon as I
for.
can afford it. Yeah.
How much is it? Or...
I don't know. I have no money, so any amount is too much.
The struggle is real.
I've also heard that it's like a session, like you go there every week for a number of months, and it's like each session is like upwards of a few £100.
It's definitely
like that's not.
Cave
That's not
Beef
something
said
I
it
can
was
do.
all told like $2,000 across 2 years to just the facial hair removal.
Okay.
So
I have
Jesus
been using this handheld like consumer product IPL laser hair remover, which
cool.
I don't
How's that
know
working?
if I've talked about. Well, first off, I don't think it's supposed to be used for facial hair, but because it says like it doesn't really work on male facial hair because the roots are very deep and it can't reach that far.
Okay.
But basically, instead of a laser, it's a light bulb that pulses. IPL stands for intense pulse light. So it just zaps you with an extremely like quick and powerful light bulb zap, and it hurts. It's like slapping you with a rubber band. But I've been using it on my arms and legs, and my arms and leg hair is basically completely gone, which is epic.
Okay,
That's
well,
kinda
So it
badass.
definitely works for most of the body. Men and women can use it. It's
How
just that the male
much
hair
is
of
that?
facial hair.
Actually, just link
It
me
is-
the thing you got. Link me it.
Well, it's kind of expensive as well. The only reason I have it is because a friend noticed that Black Friday last year or the year before. Oh no, it must have been last year. Black Friday was off by 70%, so I could afford it pretty easily.
Incredible.
I know the brand. It's IPL Brown, like Braun. That's the thing I have.
Yeah.
Like the brown tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones you put on your car. Right?
Yes.
Probably,
I don't know what you're saying. Oh, fucking
Okay.
£600. Yeah, wait, that's a bit much.
I mean, cheaper than laser surgery.
No,
Not
I think
surgery.
It's definitely
whatever it
cheaper
is.
than laser surgery, but it's different from laser surgery. I don't think it could possibly permanently remove beard shadow, but it could definitely get rid of body hair, which is what I'm using it for.
God fucking damn it! I've been losing at Minesweeper nonstop since that call, and every time I get farther and more pissed. This game does suck because you have to guess. There is no Minesweeper game that doesn't involve guessing, no matter how fucking far you get in.
I would complain about the fact that it's inherent randomness, but I play like Pokemon. I played Pokemon Showdown a lot, so you know. I
Where's
can't
the
complain.
thing? They said that you can do a version that has no guesses guaranteed, and I don't know where it is.
Okay, that's what they were saying then.
Did you
events?
wait? How is that possible? Like
Well,
the fundamental mechanic of Minesweeper is that it gives you like limited information and you have to make educated guesses.
No, it's that you use the numbers to determine, I don't think anything is like a pure guess. You always have enough information to figure it out. If it is set out in such a way.
Is there like there's like a subset of like possible Minesweeper maps that maybe start with like one square already selected?
It's right there. It's no guessing mode. On the left above
that's
ranking.
Fascinating. I wonder what like the algorithm is, or what like the I wonder what like the rules defining a no guessing Minesweeper map is.
I don't know, but if I lose the match I'm switching over.
I did a Minesweeper earlier, and I just did it methodically, and I got all of the numbers without having to guess once. And it was only a medium, so it wasn't that big, but...
I don't even consider that Minesweeper unless you're on
what
insane mode.
Okay, but like you hit a thing, and it's like, okay, there's a 2 there, and then it's like, well... Wait, how is there no guessing? Because like you know that there are a certain number of mines, but you don't know which squares they're in. Don't you have to guess?
I don't think so. Like you use all of the other numbers. You go for all the ones that are absolutely guaranteed, and I don't know. I'm not a Minesweeper person.
Is it Minesweeper.online?
Minesweeper.online.
I mean, it's not that no matter what you have to guess in a match. It's just that the odds of you having to guess at some point are so astronomically high that like it's almost guaranteed to happen in most matches.
I mean, okay, I hit a button and it said 1. So I was like, okay, there's 1 in the surrounding 8. So I have a 1 in 8 chance of hitting a mine. So I click another one and it says 2. So I'm like, okay, now I know that there's 1 in the 7 remaining surrounding the first square, and there's 2 in the 7 surrounding the 2, and one of those 2 might be in the... Like, this is still... It's still guesswork. It's like I can make a pretty good guess.
I'm playing right now on... I don't... Wow.
Okay. Alright.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Fuck Minesweeper.
Anyway, yeah, laser hair removal is expensive, but the body hair removal is affordable, kind of.
Good.
And that's what I'm doing.
Good.
I am
Excellent.
experimenting. I am experimenting zapping my face just to see if it does anything. If it, like, reduces the speed or the thickness of it, that'll be handy. So I'm going to do that anyway. And apparently zapping with the IPL is just good for the skin. If you don't do it, if you do it once a week, then it's fine. But if you overdo it, it's a bit much.
Well, I'm going to have to check it out.
The next voicemail is called Poopy Pie. 3, 2, 1, go.
Do you guys remember when the universe weirdly aligned so that some random Swedish guy screaming at Five Nights at Freddy became the biggest YouTuber on the platform? And then he was universally hated
Not universally.
by every cool YouTuber.
Wait.
Everyone knew that his content was bad and he wasn't anything special or good or cool. I remember that. Then do you remember when a couple of newspapers correctly pointed out, like, hey, this guy says some pretty wacky stuff and kind of racist stuff. And then all of a sudden, all those YouTubers who hated him before were like, now hold on.
Yeah.
We think this guy's cool.
I mean, you're ignoring the fact that he did change his entire content style, like, right after
that was pretty weird.
Like, he became a completely different YouTuber. In fairness, I still don't watch PewDiePie. I still think his videos are fucking boring and obnoxious.
What do you mean he changed his? Did he?
Yeah, like after all that happened, he totally changed like the way he presents his persona, the style of the videos and stuff.
Well,
like
when you say all that, like which controversial you're talking about, and how early? There's so many I don't actually know.
I hear about PewDiePie from my brother. I don't.
Okay, but like that's not the reason. That's not the reason why people. That's not the reason why people turned around from like hating on him to defending him. It was because he came under fire from traditional media.
I mean, maybe YouTubers were defending him for that reason, but like for instance, Victor was never paying attention to PewDiePie until that happened, but he started paying attention to him because out of the saga of him chronicling it happening, he then developed like a vlogging style more based around like the content he was doing to cover that. And so, like, it just was appealing to an older audience and was a more serious subject matter. So, like, a lot of people newly got into PewDiePie who never would have watched him before, you know?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it got him a lot of exposure, and it didn't actually do anything bad for him, obviously, as these things always go. Yeah. Next voicemail is called Errare Prepare for Bear. New mic, call out if audio bad. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Konnichiwa, guys. I have a problem. I live 30 kilometers away from a zoo, and a bear can run at 30 kilometers per hour. That means if a bear wanted, it could get where I was at within the hour flat. With that in mind, how do I prepare for the bear?
That's the best voicemail I ever heard.
Oh, I'm glad we had a winner today.
How do I prepare for the bear?
No, you can't prepare for the bear.
No,
you can't prepare. You can't prepare for the bear. If he wants you, he's gonna get you. That's all. That's all there is to it.
I mean, best bet is to leave out something he might want to eat more than you.
If you can like
have a friend who lives even closer to the
trap. Do they sell bear traps on Amazon, and how quickly can they deliver? That's the question.
Get your friend, get a friend to move to your city and be like, hey, I found a great house you can move into, and have it be like directly between you and the zoo, so the bear will get him first.
Yeah,
that's the only.
What if he's going for you specifically though?
And when he moves in, say, hey, listen, I'm glad you're here, but just not for any reason, but if you're getting mauled by a bear, call me and let me know about it, okay? Just give him that heads up. Make that part of the agreement. Okay, good voicemail. Next one is called Ben's Valentine Wish. 3, 2, 1, go.
I, Ben Saint, am gay. I am saying it now.
No, this is false.
Any claims
we've been over this.
Any future claims to the contrary are mere posturing.
This is a deep fake.
I'm just pretending. I'm just keeping up appearances.
This is gaslighting.
It's a lie. This is the truth. I am gay. Don't let me fool you when I claim to be straight.
This is photoshopped.
Wait, this is you.
I should edit this out.
You sound so different.
That I am gay, but I am gay.
See, yeah, it's a different person.
Gay.
In fact, every Ben Saint from before like 2018 or whatever, or
you were killed and replaced with a clone.
Is a different person. I was Paul McCartney'd. I was killed and replaced with a body double. That doesn't count.
The voice difference was so like uncannily different that I thought just a person was quoting you. Like just saying the thing you said once.
I did very briefly think, wow, this is a really good Ben impression, and then I was like, oh,
I thought it was a terrible.
Ben.
I had no. I didn't even consider there could be an impression.
It's got
it was so different.
reverse Paul McCartney. The body double was the original one, and the original one is the double.
There used to be a Ben body double, but then he was killed by the CIA, and the CIA called me up and said, "Hey, sorry, we killed your double. You're gonna have to resume your regular duties now." And I said, "Fuck." And here I am. And that guy said he was gay on the internet, and it's haunted me ever since.
Checks out.
I'll never escape from the shadow. Okay, so I hope that settles that for once and for all. Next one is called Shin McGarfield Tensei. 3, 2, 1, go.
Konnichiwa.
Oh, God.
Today, Samurai-sama tell a story about something you once have, but now lost forever. It contains great power, ancient knowledge, contains great secret, honor above all. But one day, Benno Sentosa traitor take control.
Parentheses,
and
traitor.
now Samurai-sama heart broken. Division between Samurai-sama and great power. Division between love and honor. Once bloom like sakura blossom, now empty like a bottle of sake. And samurai not to talk about scroll. No.
What?
Not to Kawasaki scroll. Neto-san boyo pussy. Samurai-sama defecto. You
No.
never stop League of Neto
No!
fucking. But until you next time, sayonara.
I can't believe Samurai-sama is in the League of Nate fuckers.
Samurai-sama, I can't believe you would become my enemy like this. This is so this is terrible. Terrible news. The league grows in power with every passing moment.
Wait, are the Nate fuckers pro Nate or anti Nate?
It's hard to tell. They just want to fuck Nate.
They just want to fuck. Like they all want to fuck him for different reasons. Like some of them are noble reasons, and some of them are evil. They're only united.
The
in
group
their desire
hasn't
to
decided if the fucking is metaphorically or literally yet. So
some of it is clearly literal.
Oh no, it's very literal. It's explicitly literal. But make no mistake about their intentions. I want to say there's a video. Cassidy uploaded a video condensing all the Samurai Saga voicemails into a single video.
Amazing.
I retweeted it the other day. Link in the description.
Why
to
is that
if-
not on the fucking highlights channel? We have clearly dropped the ball.
You know, maybe we did. Maybe we fucking did. Next voicemail is called Melon Bread Rebuttal, and there it is. There we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Look, pancakes with craters? You one of those. This is Pan. I don't know what the fuck you were talking about last week about inadequate posturing, but what I do know is that you made me feel called out and humiliated and like a fool. So if you want to elaborate, let's communicate exclusively through PCP voicemails. Oh, and by the way, I don't want to hunt Ben's artwork, all right? The only thing I want to hunt is Nate's utilitarian little boy pussy.
God.
Motherfuckers know I want to utilize that Nate pussy.
He didn't say league though.
I think he's associating himself. Maybe
think so.
maybe
A rogue
applied,
agent.
and they haven't got back to him yet.
Yeah. So this is his application. Do you remember what Pancake said about Melon last time? Marin?
Marin
Well, he
Pan.
says okay, but he wrote it as Melon in the title of the voicemail. Whatever. Do you remember what they said? Because I don't even remember what this is in regards to.
No, I can't. But I
Well,
guess they do, so they can
but
have
they-
their convo.
They definitely should do a back and forth entirely in PCP voicemails.
We'll stay an impartial observer.
I'll stay not knowing what they're talking about for as long as they want to continue. Next voicemail, we've got 3 more, by the way. Next voicemail is called Tshipi. Tshipi. EPI. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I remember Ben and G talking about
what?
This audio.
Can you hear anything?
No.
I hear thumping noises.
I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I'm assuming it's not intentional.
When I came up with this
Is he
idea
sitting
for
on
a
it?
YouTube series, akin to like YouTube poops and whatnot, except that my version was called Martin the Lawrence. So I was going to take clips of Sonic the Hedgehog, specifically the Sad AM cartoon, and then just interject clips of Martin Lawrence. I don't know how I was going to do
Martin Lawrence?
That's that. Yeah. I just wanted to also say, from South Africa, on the off chance that's even a movie.
I couldn't.
Okay, I heard YouTube poop, so I
Something about
assume-
making a YouTube poop out of Sonic the Hedgehog and clips of Martin Lawrence.
That's all I got from
'cause
that. I'm
I
afraid
said
for your
last
YouTube
time-
projects if recording with a microphone was this difficult.
You shouldn't have told us. You should have just done it. Now that you've said it, you won't do it. Now that you've said it, it's over.
I mean, I was talking about an idea that I had for YouTube poop, and I think he's just saying, "Oh, I also had one. Here's what it is." But obviously, we don't know how funny it would have been.
We'll never know. Next voicemail is called Boopity Shoopity Fuck That Guy. 3, 2, 1, go.
If someone sends in 8 voicemails, Ben,
Don't worry.
you just have the right to not play them. Just don't play
That's
them.
what I said I was gonna do. For the record, there have not been any Tommy J voicemails this week. I have not had to censor any out. In case any, if there were any, I would have censored them out, but there weren't. So, in case you were wondering, last voicemail is called Addendum. 3, 2, 1, go.
I have an addendum for my last statement.
Well,
okay.
I'm sure we'll be glad to listen to it later.
Oh, wait. One more. We just got one 3 minutes ago. Exactly 3 minutes ago. Someone left a voicemail. So
is it the addendum?
Here it is. No, I think it's a different person. This one is called "I'm Not Working." 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now. But I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. I think I'm jerking myself. I'm sorry. I am an asshole. I am so stupid. I gotta get one. Doomer Weeaboo on YouTube for my music.
Hey, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good closing of the original PCP arc. I imagined like the new banner like slowly fading in from like a big to like zooming out to a full size as that's playing. You know, it's the end of an era, walking away.
The only difference to the theme is that now it's Nightcore.
Eleazar, make that the intro. Make that the intro to this episode, and then we can end the episode with the story of how it became the theme song for this episode. Haha! Making it come full circle or something. Yeah, I'll make a new banner, and maybe then I'll just replace it with something else in a week or whatever. It's time to fuck around. It's time to fuck around with the branding of this goddamn YouTube channel. It's a bold new era. It's a new year. It's a new era of the PCP. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's all. So
really thought I
know.
could beat a Minesweeper match before this episode was over, but alas, nothing but fucking failure.
The struggle.
You lost the moment you decided to play Minesweeper.
I know, I always do.
Much like the stock market, you lost as soon as you decided to play.
Picross is better than Minesweeper, and I guess Sudoku is better than Picross, but Sudoku's I've mastered it.
I mean, some Sudokus are really hard, though.
I know, and I'm good at them.
The confidence with which you say that makes me believe you, because I would never dare to say that I was good at Sudokus.
I mean, I've done a few, but not like the really bad ones, though. Have you never found a Sudo that you couldn't coup?
No. Eventually, I complete them. I have an app that has like easy, medium, hard, and I've run out of hard ones. I need to download DLC for more.
DLC, Sudoku DLC. Yeah, I mean literally downloadable content. So, I guess that's it. I guess we're done with the episode.
Okay.
And we're almost at the 3-hour limit that Eleazar gave us, so that's good. Lol.
Patreon.com/The Pro Crastinators bonus episodes.
Yes.
We have a new one coming out, right?
The behind the scenes the behind the scenes clips episode is out. Is it good? I don't know. The speakpipe.com/PCP voicemail if you want to send us a voicemail. Thank you. And and patreon.com/Ben Saint, obviously for me, just to give me money, me personally.
If you would rather give your money to me and get access to over 100 bonus podcasts, which are all really good, and they come out weekly instead of monthly like these slackers. Patreon.com/polystage2, baby.
How could you?
Come on, man. Come on.
How could you do that?
Don't listen to that Ben Saint malarkey. Come over to me.
It's true.
The Bernie of podcasts.
If you like malarkey, you should follow me. You should support me.
Damn,
that
that's a slogan.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay,
yeah.
That's the end.
Don't follow me anywhere because it's all gonna go away.
Okay. Bay's dead.
There's a business strategy right there. Yeah, I love it.
End of the episode. Good night. God bless. Godspeed. Goodbye. Good night. See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye.